100 plus disastrous things that ruined parties, according to Reddit. I'll be pulling from multiple lists, as you might imagine. So, never mind the number. Number 25. Went to a friend's Christmas party when I was 10. My whole family was invited. Santa came, handed out presents to all the kids there. My sister's friend got a beautiful amethyst necklace that her parents purposefully broke, and the necklace within the first few minutes of her having it. Well, damn. That's pretty fucked up. Number 24. There was a girl in the bathroom that had too much to drink. I heard her go silent, so I opened the door. I see a dude standing over her, undoing his belt. I said, "What the fuck are you doing?" He was saying something along the lines of, "Nah, man, it's cute." I threw him into the wall, then threw him outside of the bathroom, and he was escorted by a few party members and thrown outside into the snow. I carried the girl into the nearest bed and made sure the house owners knew she was there. To this day, she had no idea what happened that night. I see her on social media still, and she seems to have a great life. I'm just glad that nothing happened to her. What a hero, bro. What a hero. Wow. Kate Summers just subscribed. I wonder if she's related to Scott Summers. And I'm just going to let that one hang in the air there. Oh, yeah. As we roll up to number 23. Story time. It's not like I saw it done, but it was probably the most horrible thing that happened at a party that I was at. The party happened in a pretty small flat, so we're just starting, standing, talking, all the usual things. The first beers are being opened, and there's one guy who afterwards nobody admitted to bringing him because of what happened. The guy's really fat, probably borderline obese, laughs at every joke loudly. That's what we all remembered about him, but whatever, that's not the problem. The fat guy drinks one beer at a time, and at some point excuses himself to the bathroom. After that, he was seen leaving very quickly through the front door without saying anything to anyone. And then the next person who entered the bathroom had a nasty surprise waiting for them. A huge, very dense shit that just couldn't be flushed. Didn't matter how many times you tried. Really, the thing filled the bowl and made the whole bathroom smell horribly. We spent half the party talking about how to get rid of it, and after we were done, the smell continued until the next day. Too long didn't read. A fat guy that nobody knew came to the party, took a massive unflushable shit, and promptly left. Well, isn't that a Pringle in the asshole? As we continue, number 22 on this list. Watched a guy play stupid games with a 5-pound can of black powder and a lighter and turn into a human fireball. Then spent a week in the burn ward at Boston before dying. Oh my God. Well, can you... Well... The Darwin Award goes to number 21. A guy had a party at his grandmother's apartment that faced a busy street. After a few too many, he decides to moon passing cars. Mooning, for people who are too young to be aware, is when you pull down your pants and let your ass just shine upon those who may or may not be interested. You gotta be careful who you moon these days, because indecent exposure can hit your ass like a ton of bricks if a kid just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. The ass went through the glass. The friend caught him before he fell through and the party was over while Moon Man went to the hospital. Goodbye, Moon Man. Number 20. Party host ended up beating up a friend of mine for puking on his porch. Puking on the porch. Puking on the porch. You know the party's over when there's puke up on the porch. Before the guy could finish asking for stuff to clean it up, the host went to his room, grabbed brass knuckles, and beat his face in. There was blood everywhere, and I don't remember doing this, but I made our friend give me his shirt and held it to his face, and we took him to the hospital. Later learned host was doing coke in the back alone. Guy had to have facial reconstruction surgery. He has a very different face now. For puking on the porch? Just for puking on the porch? Jesus Christ. But did the other guy face repercussions? Brass knuckles. Okay. What do you own in brass knuckles for, too? Oh boy. Number 19. A friend of mine organized a house party when he was 15 and told a bit too many people about it. It got gate crashed, and I saw the following: pets in the fridge, smashed mirrors, cut up furniture, people having sex everywhere, copious amounts of drugs and alcohol, doors pulled off the hinges, jewelry stolen, numerous people passed out, smashed windows, a turd on his sister's pillow and piss on the bed, and writing carved in the walls. None of what was damaged was claimable on their insurance either. Well, someone responds, as if I have time for responses. I went to a party in high school where the kids' parents were out of town for the weekend. People were writing "John had a party with beer" on sticky notes and hiding them all over the house. In random drawers in between stacked plates in the cupboard, inside the back of the TV remote. So many obscure places that it would have been impressive if he managed to find half of them. By the time I left, he was sitting on this kitchen counter just crying. I felt bad for him. What assholes, man. How ungrateful do you have to be as friends, or how much hatred do you have to harbor for somebody that's throwing a party and inviting you to it, that you're just going to go over there with the express purpose of snitching on this nigga to his parents, dude? He invited you over so y'all can have a good time, you know, away from the prying eyes and parental supervision that y'all niggas are supposed to be trying to escape as little motherfuckers. But instead, y'all out here on that snitch gangsta shit where you just like, oh, it's a prank, bro. Nah, man, go live that Jake Paul life somewhere else, you know, on the railroad tracks. That's where you belong. Somewhere you belong. Keep singing the song and don't mind the blaring of that ding dong coming from the train, barreling down the tracks. It'll be a shame that someone has to clean up your organs. Okay, that's enough. You're an idiot. You're an idiot. What are we on? Number 18? I need to start powering through these. 100 is a large number. So I saw a 20-something-year-old guy finger a 15-year-old freshman who told the guy she was 19. Yikes. Someone says, I've seen something similar. In fact, been part of something similar. Uh-oh. I was at a party and started asking to this girl. That's not what that says. Psh, I don't care. We ended up going back to her place, and I spent the night and left in the morning. A friend of hers and mine messaged me the next day and was asking me how the party went, and told her about going home with her friend. She wasn't mad at me, but she was mad at her friend, whom I've never previously met, for telling me she was 19 because I was 22 at the time. Turns out it was the day after her 17th birthday. Though it's still legal, I was still pretty cheesed. I wonder if the titties were fat. If it's legal, then what the hell are you assholes worried about? Girls gonna lie, dude, especially to get what they want. Psh, these girls don't care about their age if the dick hot enough. You know what I'm talking about? Or whatever is attached to that dick hot enough. These girls will suck a grape if it's attached to the right, you know, I don't know, blown out idiot. So number 17, watched my tough guy buddy try to pick a fight with a visiting tough guy from another town. Battle of the tough guys. My friend instantly caught a jumping Van Damme spin kick to his head. You know, he's been practicing that in his room, knocking him temporarily blind. God damn. I saw another friend get bit on the neck by a dude while trying to break up a fight. Ah, going full Mike Tyson out here, y'all. We didn't know that men were biting people now. It's pretty interesting. Thank you, Fox Demon, for the subscription. Seen any good animes lately? You can't roast people coming in here subscribing to you, Kyle. That's why it doesn't happen often. Yeah, what am I going to do? Change? We had to take him to the emergency room for the bleeding tooth marks in his neck. Another friend was stabbed in the throat at a bush party. He was fine, but it was close. And the stabber caught a boot fucking, and his truck was parked on a fire pit. Caught a boot fucking? Is that what you just putting your boot up somebody's ass repeatedly? Another guy caught stitches trying to break a glass bottle over his own head. Okay. 2 girls in a savage fight that left both of them missing teeth and bleeding profusely, but I also saw lots of boobs and girls making out and whatnot. So it's a win. Yeah. It's all about balance in a small town. It's all about balance. It's like, oh my God, you're fighting her so hard. You girls are really not fighting hard on if both of your tops are still on. I'm just saying. Someone stop those girls. But let's record this fight for legal purposes later. Yeah, not anything else. Be sure to get it in horizontal aspect ratio and get the good bits. You know what I'm talking about, you pervert. Number 16. After reading some of these, I realized that the parties I went to were weak sauce. If you didn't know that the parties that you were going to were weak sauce by the fact that you were there, roasted, then now you know. And knowing is half the battle. G-I-ho. Number 15. Kyle's the real American hero. In high school, I moved to a new school. A TA, or a teacher's assistant, was showing me around the campus, and we sort of hit it off. What do you mean hit it off? That's the teacher's meat. Okay, you can't just be sliding up in there, sharing that bitch. Ew. Anyway, she invited me to a party that weekend. It was pretty standard fare for underage drinking and shitty music. That is until the girl who invited me got super hammered. She was walking around the party basically throwing herself at anyone and everyone, and after she got upset no one would take her upstairs, she walked to the middle of the room and called for attention. She immediately chugged the rest of the beer, dropped her pants, and stuck the beer bottle up her ass. There was like 20 people around her just aghast at what happened. I still remember it vividly after 12 years. I bet you all of them Poindexters was flabbergasted, okay? They were all aghast. They said, "My word, Madam, put some clothes on." And someone exclaimed, "Mercy." And someone pulled out their handkerchief and whipped it at their forehead and said, "I've caught a bit of the vapors. Can't handle this party." Someone bring around the carriage. Number 14. One of my buddies was passed out drunk late into a high school party. Started around 4. And at about 8 p.m., the kid's stepdad, who owned the house, showed up and started drinking with the kids for a bit. Sounds like a stepdad. All my buddies remember is being woken up by his panicked friends and rushed out of the house and driven home. The kid's stepfather had a few beers, came into the living room where everyone was, and blew his brains out on the couch with a shotgun. Oh shit, this escalated quickly. It escalated quickly tonight. Blew my brains out in front of your friends. Y'all want to have a party in my house? I got a party for you right here. And over there, and over there, and over there, and on the walls, and on the couch, and in your mouth. Now you'll have a piece of me everywhere you go. Remember me. With a shotgun. Number 13. When I was around 10, my dad hosted a birthday party for one of his good friends whose boyfriend was proposing that night. Aww. The boyfriend even had a mariachi band hired from out of town to play. Well, Lots of people drinking and dancing. I don't remember why, but my friend pissed off, is what I'm imagining they meant to write, the girlfriend shortly after proposing, and they went outside to argue. Yeah, baby. That's how you know it's going to be a great relationship. We hear screaming, and everyone ran outside to see him, who's drunk and ate the worm from a bottle, I'm guessing. Can you guys guess what ethnicity these people are? Driving away, she's running after him. Next thing we know, we hear more yelling outside. Everyone runs outside again to see two of the mariachi members fist fighting. Oh, hell yeah. This is a party, baby. This is a party, baby. These Mexicans know what's up. Just the sight of seeing two mariachi band players in full costume fist fighting on my dad's front lawn will forever be engraved in my mind. Soon after the mariachi players left, leaving one of the fighters, my dad offered to drive him where he needed to be, but he just left and we see him walking into the darkness. What a kick-ass movie poster that would be. Hey, why'd everybody stop talking? Is everybody okay? Guess I'll just read to myself. Jeez. Number 12. A child drowning. Jesus Christ. This is getting pretty metal. Let's go back down to the one where the guy blew his brains out with a shotgun. I'm going to upvote that. And then we're going to go back up to this one. A child drowning. I'm not upvoting that. I'm not some kind of morbid sicko. Okay. My apartment overlooks the pool area. And there was a birthday party. I'm just going to click that. And there was a birthday party for an 8-year-old just setting up. While 4 or 5 adults were setting up the tables, the 10 or 12 kids all piled into the hot tub right next to them. One child ended up on the bottom right at everybody's feet, but couldn't be seen. Eventually, one of the kids felt her down there, and the screaming began. That's when I first looked outside and watched the rest of the tragedy unfold. Police, paramedics, etc. The little girl did not survive. That's a little fucked up. Number 11. In the high school, I saw a guy be encouraged to chug a whole big bottle of tequila. Later that night, I found him passed out on a mattress away from everyone else. I talked him to get him up to tell me he was okay. He stood up, did the robot, and fell back asleep. He left in an ambulance, and he blew a .28. Impressive. Now release your anger. Can't you sense that your friends are in danger? Why'd you slice off my hand? It's imperative that you understand. Obi-Wan would never bother. Tell me true about your father. He told me enough. He told me you killed him. Then there's something I must reveal then. I'm your father. I'm your father. Number 10. Friends tell me, hey, if you see me running, you should run too. That's awfully concerning. Why's that? People are coming that have beef with my friend here. They're strapped, apparently. Strapped as in have real guns? Oh, yes. Okay, well, then why don't we leave right now? I couldn't get my 2 drunkies. I was double D. Man, he has some big ass titties. I'm kidding. He was the designated driver. But he couldn't get his 2 drunkies because one was talking to a girl and the other was nowhere to be found. Eventually, people start flooding outside and I see a fist fight. The fight turns into a guy pulling his piece out and firing into the direction of someone. 3 people got hit. This was in like a super white people suburbia too. No one died, but photos circulating of the people who got hit and the wounds, hand, leg, and leg. I saw the hand one from afar. It was crazy. I later found out it was over a girl and $50. Y'all out here pulling gats on people over $50, dude. Go rob a convenience store and get arrested, dude. Why y'all pulling the guns on people at a party talking about, all right, I ain't in the mood for this shit. Listen up, white people suburbia. Number 9. Friends were drunk, shirts off, jumping over the fire pit at night. Everybody was having a great time. The two people taking turns jumping couldn't see each other on their last go, so they ran, jumped at the same time. And they smacked one another in midair over the fire pit. One of them got knocked to the side, but the other one fell on his back right into the fire. Mind you, he wasn't wearing a shirt. We rushed drunkenly to get him out because he was yelling and trying to move out himself, but he couldn't. He was like a turtle. He would end up needing a skin graft on his back, and it looked horrible. It still looks bad. Oh my God. Well, here we go. Hope everybody here is having a cute little Christmas. I love you. I'm here. Snap me if you need me. You won't, but in case you do, snap me your gay little Christmas. If I didn't send you a Christmas Snapchat, then I apologize. I love you. I thought I got everybody. But I mean, you're not I'm kidding. Peppermint Stripe says, I clicked on it, but it misdirected. What are you guys all talking about? Some kind of link? Maybe she retracted it because it looks like it. Lissa says, hey all, hey Kyle, how's everyone's day? It's fine. It's a Christmas. It's a day. So as we continue up this list, we arrive at number 8. A drunk dude did a front split to impress a girl and ripped his jeans. Well, at least he didn't rip his ball sack. Why the fuck you doing a split to impress a girl? Where do you learn shit like that, men? Lift some weights, dude. I mean, I guess to the right type of chicks, being flexible is impressive, but bitches trying to see them muscles. That's what gets their jimmies wet. They're all pretty basic in that category. Get a little bit of muscles, and they'll be like, let me suck that grape, boy. Stop with the suck the grape comments, Kyle. God. Number 7. I saw a girl eating a sandwich in the corner of a party with a dog watching. Yo, I want to be at this party. This shit sounds fire. The dog kept going in to take bites of the sandwich, and this led to the girl drunkenly moving it at the last second to make out with the dog. It happened for a good 5 minutes. I put down my drink and I left right then. I take it back. I don't want to be at this party. Number 6. A drunk guy threw his plastic cup into the pool where he finished his drink, and the guy whose party it was went off, turned off the stereo, got everyone's attention, gave a mental lecture about not throwing anything into the pool. Within 4 minutes, everything was in the pool. Oh my God. Plates, glasses, furniture, books, etc. And worst of all, about 24 potted plants. Oh my God. What a bunch of assholes. There's something so sad about it. Guys, come on, guys. Don't throw stuff in the pool. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, my man Lexeus, lovely to see you. Curly haired Sarah Edwards. My man Michael Davis. And Relala the Mama Monte. Let's continue. Number 5. We had just finished a round of King's Cup, and there was a lull. King's Cup. Okay. The cup was full of beer, Smirnoff, Margarita, and a bunch of other shit. We played with 2 decks. We didn't really finish it, and it kind of just ended. I didn't want people to get bored, so I shouted, last one in the bathroom has to drink the King's Cup. There was a fucking stampede of about 20 people in my house. First person in broke the door handle and flew into the shower doors that buckled and busted in the bathtub. Second person, my sister, tried to stop, and I slammed into her, causing person 1 to fling into the shower. My sister and I crashed down to the ground, and I saw why she had to stop. My female roommate was trying to take a shit. My sister laughed so hard she pissed herself while I was sitting on her lap. Oh, and about 8 more people piled in and landed on top of us. It was great. Oh my God. I've only made one girl that I know piss herself laughing. And it was not cute. It was so not cute. Poor her. Okay, so number 4. A buddy of mine passed out in front of the toilet at a house party of mine. A bunch of people had to use it, but he insisted that they just use the bathroom anyway, with him wrapped around the base. And they did. Eventually, a couple decided that they wanted to fuck in the bathroom, but he was still in there, wrapped around the base of the toilet, so they did it anyway. I finally realized he was in there, dragged him out of there, and put him in my bed for the night. And now, whenever he tells the story, I'm gay for some reason, because I slept there too, facing the other direction, fully clothed. I'm gay. Oh my God. Number 3. My sister got too drunk at a party. She fell into a bonfire and Excuse me? Let me read this so we can get out of here. My sister got too drunk at a party. She fell into a bonfire and degloved both of her hands. Oh my God. Thank you. No. Thank you. Bye. Number 2. Someone took a shit in the dryer and turned it on. Someone said it's called the Hot Whopper. The old brown hurricane, huh? Oh my God. You are a guest in this home and you do this? The Hot Whopper. What? Number 1 on this list. I just got a Twitch subscriber. I don't get those. I should start streaming on Twitch. See if I can get a little bit of a following. And by that, I mean no one's going to care. Thank you to whoever that was on Twitch. That's strange. I forgot that's a thing. I forgot I'm monitoring Twitch subscribers. At any rate, number 1 on this list as we transition into another one is a party when I was in high school. We were all drunk, but at some point, I noticed that some people were replacing water with vodka for all animals in the house. Few birds, dogs, and a hamster. I told the guy who was holding the party. He did nothing, just laughing. I removed the vodka and put the water back myself. Seriously, fuck those guys, man. God damn. Yeah, some people don't give a fuck. What the fuck you mean you swapping out water for vodka for the animals, though? You trying to kill these animals? My God, as we transition into the second list, I don't even think I'm halfway through these. Well, obviously, if I've only read 25, then maybe you're a quarter of the way, but not if it's 100 plus. So number 35, a big dude carrying one of our drunk girls' buddies downstairs to put her to bed. She was barely conscious, but visibly resisting, so we followed and got there just in time to stop him climbing on top of her. Fuck that guy. Y'all are so bad. Number 34. A drunk guy jumped off the 3rd floor balcony aiming for a nearby tree. He did well enough not to kill himself, but he broke quite a few bones and cut himself pretty bad falling through the tree. He spent the next couple of months in the hospital. A 3rd floor balcony, dude. It wasn't 2 floors, you know? 2 floors is bad enough if you get so drunk that you're just like, dude, I'm jumping off this roof. I'm gonna make it. I can make it. Aim for the bushes. Aim for the bushes. All right, here we go. Number 33. Someone chewing a bite of hamburger and his friend opening wide while the chewer spit the chewed bite into his mouth. I'm pretty sure the second dude swallowed. They did things like that. I'm pretty sure both dudes swallow. If they do stuff like that, baby. Why does Sarah Edwards sound like a politician, you know? I don't know. Stripe says, for Christmas, Kyle gave us somewhere to be and himself a headache. I'm fine. For now. Number 32. Ex-girlfriend's birthday party. Some drunk fucker got left by his friends and started causing trouble, hitting on people, drinking more, just not giving a shit. Started to get freaked out by people wanting him to leave. Twice he tried to jump off the balcony of the house and plummet 15 feet to a rocky death. The first attempt, we wrestle him back to the ground and he naps for a second. The next second, he fucking jumps up and leaps for the edge. One dude on his leg grabs him by the waist. And I get my arm. Wow, people are really subscribing on Twitch. That's pretty interesting. But I'm not streaming on Twitch. That's so wild. Thank you. But yeah, who knows if they can even see this. Anyway, the next second he leaps for the fucking edge. One dude on his left grabs him by the waist, and I get my arm in a headlock, and we bring him to the ground. I hit my friend's leg and tell them to call 911, and we get him up and out of the house, and people start walking down the street. 4 cops come to the door. 2 take off looking for him, while the other 2 survey what had happened, and they were nice enough to make a comment about the shitty beer that we were drinking. Thank you, Multnomah County Sheriff. Fuck you, Hans. The guy's name was Hans. That's jumping off the roof. It's because of that name. It's because of his name. Don't you understand? My name is Hans. I have to jump off this roof. I'm Hans. No. Just let me die. No, Hans. You have too much to live for, Hans. I just want to die. I am Hans. That's Hans's theme song. I'm very sorry. Number 31. I saw a bloke at a local... Hans. I saw a bloke at a local house party slip something into a girl's drink. It was sickening to see another human being trying to drug someone for their benefit. My buddy and I went over and tossed the drink out and threw the kid out of the party. We later talked to the girl and she was quite happy to realize that she wasn't drugged. She gonna suck the stick or what? That's probably what they said to her. Because they're assholes. You know what I'm talking about? You know, they should allow her to offer to suck their dicks following having her, whatever. Shut up, Kyle. Number 30. I thought I had something to share, but after reading these comments, I'm a fairly normal drunk. What's a drunk list? Oh, this is the worst thing that's happened to the party. So let's go. Number 29. A buddy and his significant other got into it, so he decided to drink as heavily as possible because in his mind, they were over forever. Got so hammered that he thought suicide was the only option, so he walked out and flung himself off the second-story balcony when nobody was looking. We all realized he was missing about half an hour later, so we took off to search. We found him after about 4 hours. He crawled on a broken humerus and 3 cracked ribs out into the middle of an empty lot next to the complex to, in his delirious drunk state, dehydrate as hell words, die alone like a wound... In his words, die alone like a wounded baby antelope on the Serengeti. Over a bitch. We carried him back to the car and took him to a hospital where he was treated for arms, ribs, dehydration, and severe alcohol poisoning. He remembered none of it. Turns out his significant other and him had argued only about what time they should go home, and she only wanted to stay until 12 or so, and he wanted to stay as long as humanly possible. So she took off. Wasn't even really a fight. Here's the thing, guys. Some people are fucking crazy. Already. Like, as a baseline. Y'all are crazy. On a scale from 1 to crazy, y'all crazy when you wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? Some people wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy. You know what I mean? Put their sunglasses on, they about to hit the city. But some people wake up in the morning crazy on a scale from 1 to crazy. So why would you exacerbate the crazy by just mixing in some of that substances, baby? You know what I'm talking about? Some people can't handle their liquor. And when it's not like he took shrooms here. It's not like he took acid and he thought it was the end of the world because his girlfriend was like, so what time we going home? What do you mean? I'm throwing myself off this roof. That was him hitting the ground. That was the noise of him hitting the ground. And then he wanted to die like a wounded antelope on the Serengeti Oh, Serengeti spaghetti. Number 27. Drunk police officer getting in his car to run the siren for us, then driving a few parking spots over. Number 26. Let's see. Number 1. Someone dumped a large jar of pickles in the dryer and then proceeded to run the dryer. From what I heard, the family had to hang out their wash to dry for some time because the dryer made their clothes smell like pickles. Oh, the old lingering pickle, guys, you know. Number 2, a brother and sister had a party and they had this huge old Irish setter, and someone put rum-based mixed drink in the dog's bowl. The brother saw that happen before the dog drank too much, but it still walked crooked before it needed to lay down for a while. The party was then over. The brother thought someone killed his dog, and they also fed the dog a bunch of bologna. That probably didn't help. Number 3, a girl came to the party with her boyfriend to a girl's... Oh my God. I'm so sorry. A girl came to party with her boyfriend to a girl's house party. The girl that lived there fucked the other girl's boyfriend during the party. The girlfriend found out. They broke up. The guy stayed at the party. Girl was going to leave, and she was emotional. To leave the house, you had to walk past the pool, and on her way out, she got retard strong and threw a 50-pound potted plant into the pool. The pot cracked when it hit the bottom, and the pool filled with dirt like the Gulf of Mexico. That's rude, nigga. How you gonna say something like that? Pool full with like the Gulf of Mexico. What the fuck? Rude. Okay. As we roll up to number 25, I was in a band. Not like a band, but guitar, drums, lots of screaming and growling. Anyway, my guitar player was turning 18, so we threw him a party. All of our friends were there. Some were work friends and some were school friends. Some were friends of friends, but I digress. I'm gonna fucking find you. I'm gonna fucking kill. You've deleted your shit. You already know what time it is, baby. 3 years ago. I'll edit this. I'll edit my bullet into your... I'm kidding. Number 5. Number 5. God, this is like making my mind spin. I hate you. My friend Andy had a habit of getting stupid blackout drunk. Well, at this particular party, which was in our band's practice space, there was a few couches. Andy had been sitting on the couch talking to some girls and he passed out. We left him there and went about the party. A few of us were standing around outside when all of a sudden we hear a loud scream and this one girl comes running out of the house. Apparently, Andy had stood up from his unconscious state and pissed all over the wall and himself. Everyone thought it was funny and went back to their business. We were punk rock. What the fuck do you expect? Oh, you're so punk rock, dude. You know, not immediately freaking out because someone pissed on themselves and all over the wall. Like, what did you think that we wanted you to write that you immediately went to cleaning? I fucking hate this guy. Well, when he sat down, his pants were still around his ankles. The girl who was sitting next to him felt something warm and reached down and felt something hot and sticky. Sticky. He shit himself, and by proxy, shit all over this girl's leg. She started screaming and dry heaving, which woke him up. He looked over at her, started to ask her what was wrong, ended up projectile vomiting all over her. That was the worst thing I have ever witnessed at a party. On a side note, I went to another party with the same group of people and stumbled upon a room full of naked people making out. I sat down, lit up a blunt, and watched while tripping on acid. That was a good time. Naked people making out. Is this how you think baloney is spelled, Stripes? You're just trying to be cute now. That's not how baloney is spelled.
Your face.
Oh my god. That's so sweet, Lissa. I love you. Lissa and Bread both went a little sexy today, and I really can't get enough of you. that's really out of this world. Lissa, Bread, I want you both to know that I consider you amazing. I love you. Wow. Wow. We're getting nowhere in this list, though, but that's fine. As long as they keep up this caliber, they're pretty good. So let's continue and reach number 24. Was closing down a party a few years back, noticed a young woman wandering through all of the rooms and back again. Then watched her go through the living room, and she picked up each and every empty beer can and poured it into her glass. Some of them only had drops left, others had a few swallows. While I was still trying to process what I was seeing, she noticing her, furrowed her brow, and with a silent tilt of her head stated, "Don't judge me," and continued on her journey. Excuse me, Jesus. When people are drinking beer, or pretty much putting anything to their lips, you got to think about all the backwash that's getting back in there. So she taking empty beer cans that people had their mouth on that are pretty much done. And then, you know, it's like she must be herpes. She must be queen herpes. She must be queen herpes, okay? Ew. Number 23, boy. We were taking care of a freshman girl who had too much to drink, as so many do. On the first week of the semester, we took her to the bathroom and waited patiently outside. The door cracked, and a CC couple of friends of hers posted outside to keep her privacy and listen for vomiting. After a few minutes, it's gotten quiet. Then we hear a small and dull clunk sound. And after a moment, water rushes out into the hallway. She fell asleep standing, fell slamming her head into the open toilet, smashing it into 2 pieces. Remarkably, she was completely unhurt. She's a graduate now and sings with stunning beauty. Look, nigga, I'm not going to lie to you. I can count on, I don't know, probably one hand the amount of times that I've been in the bathroom with a woman, fuck her privacy, because she was too drunk and I was making sure that she wasn't going to get vomit in her hair or was just using the bathroom without falling forward and fucking injuring herself. You know, it don't take much to snap a motherfucker's neck. Do you get what I'm saying? And people die. People die in the bathroom on some crazy falling off the pot hijinks. It's really not the time to be. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's fucking injured and they go to the hospital, they ain't worried about the doctors and people seeing them naked. You know what I'm talking about? And if somebody has lost control of themselves, they need somebody that's going to be on deck regardless of what. They're not worried about like their corny ass pride and, you know, the fact that you can see something that maybe you didn't need to see. You know what I mean? All of that shit goes out the window because people are people at the end of the day and we can die easy as fuck. So please, okay? Yes, if some other bitch is on deck and they closer to her or something, or if a woman is like fine with being the one to accompany this other chick into the bathroom, you know what I mean? Have that be done. But when somebody is drunk, they drunk. You know what I'm talking about? This bitch could have died in there. And the only reason this story is a happy story is because she lived, okay? Otherwise, y'all gonna be kicking yourselves going, why did I just go into the bathroom with her? You should have went into the bathroom with her. If she was that drunk. Number 22. No people showed up. Aww. It was a blessing in disguise. People are lame, alright? Solitude is where it's at. Someone just responds, this happened to a friend of mine. She had her daughter's birthday party at the local park, set up tables of homemade treats, balloons everywhere, games for the kids to play, and not a single person showed up. It was brutal because everyone at the park kept walking by to see what was going on. Her daughter was young enough to not really get what happened. Nice woman and husband, nice kid. Not sure why nobody showed. This is why you don't send out evites with regrets only? You don't send out evites with regrets only? and don't follow up. What does that mean? Evites with regrets. Girls, one of you girls are going to have to explain that to me. As we go ahead and arrive at number 21, my ex-husband once opened a can of Alpo dog food, put it on a plate, mashed it up into a ball. He added some crackers to the plate and fed it to the other party goers. Nasty. Why did you let him do that? She said, me ex-husband. And somebody said, are you a pirate? Aye, he got the ship into divorce. The scurvy scoundrel. Number 20. My friend's ex-girlfriend walked around stark naked, begging people to bone her. Passed out naked in the bathroom and crapped all over the floor. Fellers, I was not impressed. Are you not impressed? Oh my God. Where are the naked people in my Christmas and my party? Ruin my party with your nudity. Just don't take a crap on the floor. And sure as hell don't put that crap on some girl's leg or into the dryer and turn it on, please. The hot whopper. Number 19. I spilled wine on a brand new shirt at a party, and when I asked to go borrow a sweater to cover it up, the host said he didn't want me to stretch out the neck hole with my fat head. Then everyone laughed and agreed that I had a fat head. Oh, did you cry yourself to sleep that night on your huge pillow? What the fuck? Is this a reference to something? Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that a reference to something? It's a Seinfeld reference. Oh. No, I don't want you stretching out the neck hole. Oh my God. That's a Seinfeld reference. You know, I haven't watched a lot of Seinfeld, so there we go. Bing bong. Number 17. I'm glad that I could recognize it was a reference, though. That gives me hot bing bong points. Someone took a shit in the kitchen sink. It was towards the end of the party, which was a house party when I was in my second year at university. Everybody was winding down, finding somewhere to crash for the night, and I came down from my room into the kitchen to do something I don't remember what. The bathroom was occupied by someone probably throwing up. Whatever. It was, they'd been in there for a while, and I guess he couldn't hold on. So I opened the kitchen door, and he's squatting with one foot on the draining board and the other on the counter and on the other side. And he just looks at me, and I look at him, and his eyes widen, and I just slam the door and go back to my room and try to drink the memories away. It didn't work. Every time I turn a light on in the kitchen, I expect to see that stare hovering at me from over the sink. Ew. Ew. As we roll up to number 16. I saw a dude get stabbed in the kidney at a party. No one was really partying that much or paying that much attention, and he was so drunk that he appeared to just shrug it off. We left after that, walked by the house 20 or 30 minutes later, and the paramedics were in front, and the dude was dead. Oh my God, fucking gnarly. What the fuck? He'd been bleeding internally. Everyone thought he was just drunk when he fell over. Almost no blood on his shirt. It was surreal. It was surreal. My word. Somebody named Reverse Mudkip says,
It wasn't really a party, but I got blackout drunk at a friend's house with a 3rd grade teacher there from my elementary school. My friend told me the next day that she was laughing at my drunk talk.
Reverse Mudkip, ladies and gentlemen. Chuckster says he cried watching Coco, which is probably another animated Bing Bong movie for all you people who can't get enough of those animated, Pixar abortions in your life, I'm sure it's good. Is Coco the one with the Hispanics? Yeah, I'm sure it moved everyone to tears. Coco. Oh, yeah. You better not do it. That's what that movie is about, I'm sure. And dead people. Stripe says, I was waiting for the sad part to happen. Everyone was talking about it, but it never came. It never came. You guys got fat heads. So we roll up to number 15. Frat party. Someone's dog fucking a girl while everyone watched. Oh my God. Oh my God. When you are a woman who wants dog pee-pee in your slit, you have to wonder why some of us are alone, It's funny because that's like a double-sided coin. You think to yourself, how can some people be alone if some women are willing to get on all fours and have a dog fuck them in the butt? And the answer to the question, hilariously, is because there are actually people that would be willing to get on all fours and have a dog fuck them in the puss, Oh, it's like you want people, but at the same time, whoa, people. Oh my God. Number 14. Apparently I was too young to remember this, but my parents told me about the time they had a party and I came out of my room and proceeded to serve glasses of cool, delicious water to the guests. After a while, someone thought to ask where I was getting the water. You guessed it, the toilet. Someone says, I did not guess that. Can I interest you in some cool, delicious water? Thank you. Well, thank you very much, sir. This water's got a hint of lemon. What are you doing? Number 13. 3 of my friends get in with one chick in the living room when everyone was leaving. Me, what the fuck are you guys doing? Her, join in. Me, no thanks. Oh. Okay. Number 12. Buddy of mine got really drunk one time. He took some intimate rock pills. What? He told me his plan was to run around to all the girls to see if they like what they see. Oh, he took like hard cock pills. Okay. He tripped on his own foot and broke his dick when he fell on a coffee table. He broke his dick. Oh my God. Hey, look, it's Johament. Which leads me to my next question. Who here has had intercourse with multiple partners at the same time? And that's a gateway question into who has had intercourse with multiple partners and had other people watch, like for a crowd. Or have you just had one person bing bong, but for a crowd? And then hello, fat man. And it's nice to see Lexeus once again, Bing Bong. As we continue up to number 11, my sister hosted a party and someone shit on top of one of the blades of the ceiling fan. You can guess how we discovered it. Oh no! You can guess how we discovered that shit was on the ceiling fan. Oh no. Someone says, as bad as I feel for you guys, props to whomever was capable of skillfully shitting. He didn't shit on the ceiling fan, you idiot. He put it up there. Stupid. Oh. He handled his own fucking excrement. Number 10. Someone took a shit right on the bathroom floor. This whole thing's gonna be shit, isn't it? So I guess the question is, can anything top putting the shit in the dryer, the hot whopper? You know? Someone took a shit right on the bathroom floor. A drunk girl heads to the bathroom without looking, slips, and literally eats shit. Number 9. I walked in to see a girl doing lines of coke off of a stairwell. When she went limp, and everyone started freaking out until she jumped up with a bloody nose and yelled, "I'm okay, bitches." Then she passed out again and we called an ambulance. A fantastic night. A fantastic night. Unbelievable. Ria Monte says, I've had sex with an audience, but I didn't know they were watching, found out midway. That's when she was making that baby. Well, I wonder if she was riding cowgirl, so like the titties were all flopping and stuff, and they were like, yeah, and they were probably jacking it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Anyway, number 8. This kid I knew in high school, Dave, got into a fist fight with a friend and beat him so his friend ran upstairs, grabbed his dad's pistol whipped Dave with it, and then pointed at Dave's head all the while Dave was saying, "Bet you won't do it, pussy." That was not a fun night. No, Dave is not dead, to everyone asking. That's a pretty gangster shit. Some gangster shit to say to somebody pointing a gun at your face. I bet you won't do it, pussy. What the fuck? I bet you won't do it, pussy. Holy hell. Number 7. Drunk people filled a beer bottle with cleaning liquid and handed it to an even drunker person who drank it. Luckily, it wasn't bleach-based, but he was not well. That's unfortunate. To everybody saying they're not getting notifications, I hope that you've enabled the little bell to get the Kyle notifications. Gotta go to the Kyle page, hit that bell. You can ring my bell. That song's like 50 years old. Ring my bell. What is this? Oh my god, it's a life story over here. It's a life story tonight. It's been gilded 6 times, so I'm willing to break it down. Like Lucio up in this bitch. Ugh. Number 6. I had a party at my house a few weeks ago, and I've always hated the idea of excluding anybody, so I kinda cast a wide net in terms of invites. It was too wide. I know it. I hate having to do stuff like this, but it's either excuse me, the hiccup burp combination, the Kyle exclusive. I hate having to do stuff like this, but it's either invite everybody or don't have a party at all, because the last thing that I want to do is have someone's status update or share a photo to ruin it for someone else. You know, that sorry, I had a party and didn't invite you. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, I'm just like proofreading a little bit of this. And am I really being cool about it? Looking back, I don't think I've ever been cool about it at all. I kind of spread the word in advance to people that I would have invited, and I allowed myself to be more exclusive to get together. And then like 2 or 3 days before, I put out a general announcement to everybody at work, friends on Facebook. Okay. Dude, okay. Ugh. All I'm really doing is reaching for the bottom, right? Like, who else is not only not going to have any plans on such short notice? I feel like a jerk even laying it out like that, but that's exactly what it is, all right? People with nothing else to do, just waiting for last-minute sympathy invites. The party was on Saturday. I sent out mass invites on a Thursday. Friday morning, this guy Phil at work sends me an email. Hey, Rob, what should I bring? And what do you mean, what should you bring? You ever been to a party before? Just bring some beer, a bottle of wine, I don't know, a bag of chips. This isn't high tea here. But what do I say? I say don't bring anything. Because what are you really supposed to say? You tell people not to bring something, you kind of hope that they bring a little extra booze or some snacks, not Jell-O, okay? That's just weird. That's what Phil brought. He brought some weird molded Jell-O thing. Like something straight out of a 60s cookbook. A big green ring with stuff floating around in it. Hey, man, I made some dessert. And he was smiling like I was trying to get him to get a read on him. With some sort of joke, like was it a gag gift? But I swear I couldn't tell. And while a part of me really wanted to laugh and be like, ha, that's hilarious, I just really wasn't convinced that this Jell-O thing wasn't anything less than 100% sincere. I was right in the middle of laying out all of the snacks, pouring this giant bag of tortilla chips that I had just brought from Costco into a plastic bowl, and all this party stuff spread out in front of me. And it wasn't because I wasn't ready yet, okay? It was because Phil showed up exactly at 8 o'clock. Like he was walking around the block, just waiting for the clock to strike 8 so he could knock on the door. Nobody else was here yet, and I was clearly still setting up. But he has his thing in my face. It wasn't even wrapped. Like, I don't understand. I'm sorry. Like, I don't understand how he could get it all the way from his place to my place, and he was just sitting on the subway with Jell-O on his lap. like breathing on it. It's too much. And I get it, okay? Like, I can be socially awkward sometimes. I have that same tendency to overthink everything. And yeah, okay, when I get invited to a party, I'm totally stressed out about when I'm supposed to show up, you know, right? But I'm not the guy walking around the block wasting time so I can show up just the right second, okay? I'm just the guy walking around the block waiting for just I'm gonna make an entrance that looks natural. Like I'm not obsessing about how many people have arrived on time or before me, or if I'm too late. Okay, so I understand. But this guy is like me, but with absolutely no inhibitions. Just it's 8 o'clock, ding dong. Here's your Jell-O. Maybe it was a joke. Ha, that's funny. I did say it, hoping he'd laugh back. Because come on, dude, I've never seen dessert like that in real life. And maybe it's really tasty and everything, but nobody's gonna eat that. And tell me you did it wrapped up. Tell me you had it wrapped up, please. Tell me you ditched the wrapping outside something, because I can't get over the exposed jiggly surface like somebody 2 seats down from you on the subway sneezes and it just seems like a giant germ magnet. What's so funny? And what do I say to that? Nothing, I said. Just something I was thinking about from earlier. Something funny happened. And he was like, what happened? And I wanted to be like, Phil, come on, dude. I wanted to be like, Phil, come on, dude. Just help me out here, okay? Just stop with the follow-up questions. Just put down the Jell-O. Come on, dude. Just let me finish setting up here. Where do you want me to put this Jell-O? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Anywhere's fine. Just grab yourself a drink, okay? Just hang out while I finish getting ready, okay? And I'm telling you, that fucking Jell-O was the hit of the party. I don't even know where the cake slicer thing came from, because I definitely don't have a cake slicer. Like, Phil must have brought it, okay? He must have had that thing in his back pocket, but everybody had like cake slices of Jell-O. I wanted to give out a warning like, Jesus Christ, don't eat that Jell-O, man. And Chris was like, why? This Jell-O is awesome. Classic Phil. Okay, what was I not getting? Have you done this before? Yeah, man, Phil brings it to all the parties. That's like his thing. And I was just thinking, how come I've never been to any of the parties with Phil before? Like, I don't care. Okay. It's not like I have to be invited to everything. Okay. I know that not everybody does the whole blanket invite like I do, but not once. How many parties are people having that Phil's invited to and I'm not? Because I would have noticed that, okay? I'm telling you, I would have noticed a green fucking Jell-O ring cake with pieces of canned pineapple floating around in it. Oh my God. What the hell kind of story was this? What the hell kind of story was this? Oh my God. That story broke me. I didn't know what the hell that was. I'm very sorry. Ooh, boy. Oh my God. Number 5, man. Beer can nearly full of chew spit. Dude on acid. He pounded the whole thing, threw the can down, let out a primal scream, and did not vomit. But others did. People said, I think I'm done. Yeah, I'm done with this list, they said. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. That story was a little weird. Chief Daddy, I don't know what to say. Kyle is laughing about, man. It was very confusingly written. Just like he was just trying to figure out exactly what the hell is going on. You know what I mean? Like, is this a joke? You know, it's not a joke. It's like, what's funny, man? What's going on, man? Like, you just had that Jell-O exposed like that. You walking around with no. When you bring a cake somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's Jell-O at this point. Like, you want a plastic shield protecting that thing. What do you mean you showed up like right on time? You know what I mean? People were going to show up at this party wanting this Jell-O. You know what I mean? So I haven't been invited to all of your Jell-O parties that you're always at. People are saying, yeah, man, that's like his thing. He always brings the Jell-O. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm sorry. Oh boy. Guy, Faith says, Kyle, can Phil's Jell-O please be a separate video? I can probably try to edit it out later. That was a nightmare to read. Something was utterly wrong with me. Like, it broke my brain to read that. Oh, boy. Oh, my God. Here we go, though. Here we go. Number 3. My friend was shot and... Goddamn. My friend was shot and killed through his front door after asking people he didn't know to leave. He was locking the door after an argument to get them to leave. Jesus Christ, can you imagine ushering people out of your house for your party and somebody just pull out a gun and shoot you through the front door? What the frick? That's pretty dank. I'm telling you, man, this crap is pretty gnarly. Somebody said they served chicken with Merlot. Wow, I go to lame parties. That sounds pretty nice, man. That sounds pretty nice. I have some, let's talk about something that happened, okay? My mom came down. Mom's a cool cat, you know what I mean? And, well, maybe I don't need to talk to y'all about exactly what happened. But mom came by some cash. You know what I'm talking about? She got a little bit of that extra fliff. So she threw that shit at me and was like, go to the grocery store and just pick up whatever. And I was like, all right, man. So she put me onto this buy one, get one free shit that I'm all about. It's like Barber Foods cordon bleu, right? So I picked up a bunch of it. And Hannah was with me, dude. And I wasn't paying attention. I picked up the whole bunch of them. And I wasn't paying attention. When I get home, I noticed that, yeah, a couple of them are the ones that I like, the cordon bleu that I like. But some of them were the cordon bleu where the chicken is not like breaded. Okay. So it's pretty much like, you know, it's still cordon bleu where there's like ham in there and cheese and this chicken, you know what I mean? But these were kind of like grilled instead of like, let's call it crispy because it wasn't breaded. And, you know, I want to say I'm a grown man. And, you know, it's not that big a deal. It's really just a little bit of fucking breadcrumbs sprinkled on the outside of this shit. But that cordon bleu is still hanging out in my freezer, buddy. And it'll get eaten one day. But I am going to be completely honest here in admitting to you that if it were the breaded cordon bleu, it would have already been eaten. So am I a child for that? Is this anecdote going anywhere? You know what I mean? Shh. Did you all know that I'm getting a Nintendo Switch, guys? But I don't have any games for it. And that's fine too. I'll probably need to get some. Number 1. At a birthday party for a 4-year-old in my neighborhood, we, the parents and I, caught the clown masturbating in the kid's bathroom holding a picture of the mom. You did not. No, you didn't. Somebody says, I imagine the fucking clown crouching in a corner next to a racing car, making wacky clown noises. Honk, honk. Uh-huh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the top of this second list, which had 35 on it. The first one had 25. Boy, has Kyle bit off more than he could chew. But I do it for you. So as we continue this 100+ disastrous things that ruin parties, we arrive at number 35 on this list from 2 years ago. A friend spat in a girl's face, and I had to sleep in the kitchen and use the inside of a cupboard as a pillow. Someone says, I like how these are two seemingly unrelated things. I lost a game of quarters and ended up buying an elephant. You know what I mean? What the hell? What the hell? Boy, as we continue upward. Hey, look, it's Sin Moon Goddess. That's probably got to be like a boy. Trying to make everybody believe they're a girl, though. That's rude. Merry Christmas, young boy. Every time Sin Moon comes, I think of Emily Moon. I wonder where Emily is. Let's look at my phone. Ooh, Snapchat messages from just Hannah, because Hannah loves Kyle. Aww. Let me open that up. Oh my God. Hannah got like a nice little Rick and Morty shirt. I wonder if she got that. It looks new as fuck, yeah. It looks new as fuck. Nice shirt, Hannah. Everybody's got their nice shit, brah. All right. No. As we roll up to number 34, my best friend and 2 others were shot and killed at the party. Jesus Christ. People really do not need to be shooting and killing nobody. Some friends and I decided to throw a going away party for myself. Huh? Oh, I'm getting messages now. Cute. Some friends and I decided to throw a going away party for myself as I was moving out of the country. The party was pretty big and we had a keg and quite a few bottles. I knew everyone there and it was going great. I received a call from a friend who requested that I grab him a couple of cups from the keg before it got emptied. No problem. I got the cups full and headed into the kitchen. While I was in the kitchen, an argument broke loose in the living room, which I could see from the kitchen. It was my best friend and a random guy who I had seen around a few times before. The random guy was obviously messed up and had started asking my friend where his brother was. Of course, his brother was at the party, but in the backyard. My friend said something along the lines of, "You got to go through me to get to him." And that's when I saw my friend's eyes light up as the random guy pulled a gun from his pants. Instinctively, I hit the floor and hid in the corner of the kitchen. There was no delay. He just started shooting. He unloaded the whole clip consecutively. Apparently, after shooting my friend in the head twice and spraying many of my other friends in the living room with his blood, he turned around and began shooting into the crowd of people who had been watching. He shot and killed another friend of mine and shot another friend 3 times in the stomach. He survived just barely. I stayed in my corner, cowering and frozen. Let it go. I knew I had to get the fuck out and not look at anything. People were screaming, "You killed him." And the 100 people that were in my house were now trying to leave through every door. I finally came out of the kitchen and fled through the living room, keeping my eyes fixated on the door. Looking back on it, I actually jumped over one of the guys who had been shot. It didn't register in my mind why he was just laying on the floor, and according to the news, the shooter fled to his house. The cops found him there a couple hours later and camped out in front of his house. He came outside holding his gun and was shot and killed by the police. Death by the police. He wanted to go out like that. Y'all should have neutralized this bitch. You know what I'm talking about? Have some sharpshooters the fuck out there to shoot that mug. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's how he wanted to go. He deserved worse. He deserved worse than to be killed immediately by the police. It later came out that the argument was over a girl, over some bitch. Some niggas are dead over this shit, and how my best friend brother was now with her. Apparently he didn't like that and decided to kill him. I don't really go to big parties anymore. Rest in peace, Ben. I'm so sorry. My head was like spinning with jokes about how Ben was an uncle, and how my brain was like, say it, dude. Say Ben was an uncle. Say Ben was an uncle to little Peter Parker. He was an uncle, and he took him away. It's not all right. But neither are people, man. And this is sick, dude. Like I said, man, some people are fucking crazy as a baseline. Some people are crazy. So when you mix substances into that shit, it doesn't even need to be anything gangster like acid or fucking meth. You know what I mean? It can just be a little bit of alcohol, and it'll bring out the real version of these people. Some people can get really angry and emotional because of alcohol, but literally some people, just the real version of them comes out. You know what I mean? You just take that restraint and you just move it away, you know, just like dust it off, dust that restraint on out of here. And you'll see some people just be fucking disgusting human beings. My God. Aaron Deere says, as a late Christmas gift, I'm getting Kyle some Monster Hunter World. Did you see my Let's Play of that? I don't think I enjoyed that. I don't think I enjoyed that game. You know, I'm not saying I would hate it if the real version came out and I could play that multiplayer with somebody. I think I saw somebody named Richard Spillers in the chat who obviously was extremely excited about the game, like he's some sort of expert, so he would probably love playing it, you know. But my God, it's just me wailing on a bullet sponge fucking monster for an hour, and then the monster runs. I'm not saying I'd hate the game. Like I said, I'd probably enjoy it. Just, I don't know, man. I think I needed to see more than what the demo showed off. And what demos and betas of video games are supposed to do is capture you. They're supposed to make you go, wow, and hell yeah, and give me more. But the beta of that game was kind of just like, here's the monster. You will fight this monster for 4 minutes. After you have depleted 4 minutes of its health, it will then begin to run. Then you need to chase it. After you chase it to its new location, you will need to fight it for 3 extra minutes. You know what I mean? What the hell? What the hell is this? We all played Destiny, and we hated it then. And it's even worse now. You know how close I keep coming to making a Destiny video, calling everybody still playing that game a cuck. If you like Destiny, let's talk in the comment section real quick right now. Just fill up the stream chat with a little bit of Destiny talk, and I'll do that while I read the list. This is really sad. I'm sorry that somebody lost people at a party. That's like one of the, come on, man, you know? It's a tragedy is what it is. I mean, it's always, loss of life is always terrible, but when it's at a party, you know what I mean? Keep your shit together, guys. Jesus Christ. As we continue up to number 33, fools decided to hold the keg in the basement. The party got way too crowded and people ended up camping around the keg. As you can imagine, the basement got exceedingly hot and crowded. With too many bodies, stagnant air, low ceilings, and heat, someone eventually threw up. This, coupled with an already empty keg, caused a stampede for one narrow staircase out. A bottleneck ensued, and some got wedged and pushed so hard into the doorframe at the base of the stairs that their arm broke in 2 places. Hysteria. Police and ambulance ended up at the scene, and the party was over. Sounds like something, it could have been worse. Sounds like it could have been worse. Peppermint Stripe says, Kyle, do you want a jello emoji? I think it's all about how many people are amused by that. So, if you can tally up, Stripes, how many dudes get boners and how many chicks get perky nips over the Jello story, then we'll go from there. I think it was just I genuinely am a little embarrassed with how broken that fucking story. It really just destroyed me inside. Like, it seemed like the guy was just losing it over. It really did belong in this list because, like, the party hadn't even begun, but it was essentially ruined for this one guy because this guy brought this Jello, and it just fucked his entire world up. The Jello destroyed this guy's world. Okay, first he was like, "Is it a joke?" You know what I mean? What the fuck? How do you show up like the second that this party has begun? Okay, it's like a couple of different stages of realization. So let's talk about the story. Let's talk about the Jello story like it's an actual book, and we're gonna comprehend some things from the actual. Oh my God. The first stage is just of him being there as soon as the party is about to begin. You know, what's wrong with this guy? Are you some kind of weird guy? You're showing up here immediately. What were you doing beforehand? Were you actually here early and you didn't want to show up, but you waited until exactly the moment of the party to show up? On top of that, you show up with this Jello. I don't see no damn cover. What's going on? You know what I mean? Did you really not have this thing covered? Where were you? What has touched this Jello? You know what I mean? With just the particles and germs and all kind of crap floating around in the open air. You don't have any cover on this damn Jello. What's really hood? Okay. That's like the first stage. Okay. The second stage is when everybody arrives and they're going crazy for this Jello. And then you come to the realization that this is a thing that this guy does all the time at parties that you're not invited to. Couple that with how much you were freaking out about making sure everybody was invited to this party because you never like to be the dude that's left out, only to realize that you are the dude that's left out. That's the beauty of that story. The whole story starts to piss you off in the beginning of that story. In the beginning of this Jello story, okay? It's all about people being invited to parties, everyone being included, not being the one to be left out. But the story ends with him realizing he is that dude that's left out. Okay? Oh no. Oh no. That's the beauty of that story. So it's truly, and as I was reading it, I couldn't handle it. It was just amusing to me. And, you know, it was great. It was great. I apologize. I really liked it. Bugger me, guys. So, number 32. It was a bachelor party. A friend of a friend was getting married, and I ended up there because my buddy had an extra invitation. Strippers all around, booze, and shit. About 30 minutes later, 5 to 6 wives break in and start to yell at their husbands, almost all of them with a stripper by their side. I left as soon as possible and masturbated myself to sleep. Those are truer words never spoken, man. Masturbated. Oh, matterbated. You know what I mean? Matterbated. Someday when the girls admit that they masturbate themselves to sleep to me, and then they make me a part of it, I'll be like, yeah. And I'll look at the camera and I'll throw a thumbs up and I'll smile. I'll be like, yeah. Number 31. Is there another list? There's actually 2 other lists. Fuck me. There's 3 other lists. Fuck me. All right, look, dude, fuck. Number 31. Back in high school, I went to an outdoor pool party at the rich kid's house while his parents were away. It was a really nice place. Huge pool, an outdoor gazebo with a built-in hot tub. The bar and showers, a full tennis court, a horseshoe pit, to name a few things. The kid's parents were clearly loaded, so he decided to have people over to treat it all like crap, just as any teenager would. So everyone's drinking and running around, jumping in and out of the pool. Pretty bad idea, but all ideas are bad when you're 17 years old and having a pretty good time. I'm walking around with a few of my guy friends from the time, and we decide that we want to have a few beers in the hot tub. It was really a big one, so we hoped there'd be room. Oh, it was really a big one, so we hoped there to be room. I think this idiot means to say it wasn't really a big one, so we hoped that there would be room. We get to the gazebo and go inside, and sure enough, there's a little space. One of the guys goes in, and I just sit on the edge and put my bottom of my legs in. Now, like I said, it was a big hot tub, or I guess it was a big hot tub. So why there would be room is a real fucking question. It was really a big one. So we hoped there'd be room. The plot fucking thickens. Now, like I said, it was a big hot tub. There had to be at least 10 people in the thing. Everyone's talking and yelling and carrying on, so no one noticed the guy and the girl on the left side were actually fucking. Like fucking under the water while everyone was there. She looked like she was on something. Definitely E or Molly. He was just drunk as hell. I noticed they were doing something fucky over there, so I nudged my friend and point to them. He started laughing and hopped out of the water, and at that point everyone noticed and started calling them out on their nasty shit. So the girl freaked out and started trying to pull away from him.
Merry Christmas, Sayale. Buttness.
Joha Mint donated Tree Fitty, and the buttness is the interesting part to me. You know? Hopefully it's a thick booty indeed. Thank you. I love you. Thanks for filling my stocking. Now let me fill some of that Sarah Edwards fucky, doing something fucky under the water. Yeah, that's my favorite too. What the hell? He started laughing and hopped out of the water, and at that point everyone noticed and started calling them out on their nasty shit. So the girl freaked out and started trying to pull away from him, but he was trying to pull her back onto him, obviously too drunk to care. At this point, so many people are screaming and carrying on about this that anyone within 20 feet knows that something was up. It's a huge scene when he finally manages to pull off of him, or when she manages to pull off of him, but this is the best part. They were doing anal. They were doing fucking anal. She pulls off way too fast, and her ass must have been relaxed because of the hot tub or something. Because she shits all in this kid's hot tub. Like gross amphetamine type shit. The dude proceeds to freak the fuck out, jumps out of the hot tub, and she is literally surrounded by people while she swims in her own warm, watery shit. She gets out, shit still stuck to her, and runs the fuck off the property. It was a huge thing in our city for the next year. Like the biggest thing to ever happen. Haha. I was actually really happy I got to witness it. But I never saw that girl again. Holy shit. Girl gets publicly ass fucked in a hot tub and loses her shit. Literally. What the hell kind of list is this? Love you, Joha Mint. Thank you once again. Bing bong. As we roll up to number 30, boy. Ooh, boy, howdy. Oh, these are getting, ooh, oh my God. Oh, fuck me. Oh, man, what have I got myself into tonight? Ooh, boy. Ooh. Can do. Ugh. Number 30. I've been saying this fucking story for several years now, saving it. I'm so happy I can finally share it. This, my friends, is the story of the night shit got real. Doesn't seem to be gilded, so I guess it can't be as real as that Jello story, baby. So, this all took place over the course of my first year at university. I was hanging out at the time, and I get a text from a friend of mine asking me to hang out. I tell him that I'm down, and that he can make it over if he wants. Bonus. My dad was at his girlfriend's for the night, so we could also do a little bit of drinking. My friend asked me if he can invite anyone else, and I tell him sure. He gets back to me a little later. Saying that everyone he invited was busy. Must have asked many people, huh? I kind of wanted to do something with a few more people, so I asked him if there is anyone free to hang out. He mentions that one of our friends were doing something with a few of their friends, and that he could invite the entire group if I was cool with it. I didn't know the other people, but I really wanted to do stuff with more people, so I told him to invite them all over. People come over around 8 o'clock, and we get into drinking almost immediately. It's pretty chill, and a group of 8 people are sitting in my living room chatting and playing Xbox. Everything is cool until 10 p.m. Before getting into that, I'm going to introduce you to a few key characters in the story: Rick, Jesse, and most importantly, Girl X. I went to high school with all of these people, but I didn't know Girl X very well. Oh boy, was I in for a treat. So at about 10 p.m., the group of us is sitting in my living room and start to hear these loud shrieks coming from the room over. We have no fucking idea what's happening and realize that it's Girl X. I turn to Rick and Jesse, who are friends with her, and essentially tell them to go check on her. They do, and as it turns out, she is drunk as fuck, and I mean really fucking drunk. She keeps screaming and eventually starts crying at the same time. It's weird as fuck, and everyone at the party has no idea what the fuck to do. They all quickly go home, leaving me, Rick, Jesse, and Girl X. She continues to scream cry for a solid hour and eventually starts throwing up. I'm really fucking pissed off at this point. I just want them to go home. Not only was I annoyed that this girl I don't even know was here throwing up on my floor, but I kind of wanted to get back to my game of Pokemon Yellow. I had recently started playing it. Pikachu following me around and shit. This shit is dope. So I tell Rick and Jesse to please just take care of their friend. They pick her up, take her to the bathroom so she can throw up in the toilet. She keeps going and eventually passes out on my bathroom floor. Great. You can tell this chick was flat-chested because he was just mad as hell. I'm kidding, guys. I'm kidding. I'm not saying that when big titty girls get drunk that it's, you know, you just don't want to just help them and be with them and, you know, take care of them because, you know. So me, Rick, and Jesse, who were both drunk ourselves, by the way, started cleaning up her vomit and everything. The house kind of smells, and I'm still fucking annoyed because, you know, Pokemon. Rick and... Oh my god, Lexeus.
Thank you for the list. Some motivation to soldier on.
Oh my god, Lexeus. Thank you, oh my god. Oh my god, Lexeus. Oh my god. Thank you, Lexeus. What a badass. Let's give it up. Yeah. What a badass. Thank you so much. Can't handle you, man. Special thanks once again to Bread and Lissa for their crazy donations, as well as Joha Mint. I appreciate you. But as we continue this, oh boy. Rick and Jesse pick up Girl X and lie her down on my couch. I'm in my kitchen looking for cleaning supplies when Rick comes up to me and says pretty much the last thing I want to hear. He tells me that they may have to stay the night because Girl X is way too gone to go home. And before I can say, fuck, seriously? Jesse, who is now watching Girl X, yells for us to get over there now. And as it turned out, the drunken girl had literally started shitting on my couch. Now, when I say shitting, I mean it was like a fucking volcano. There was more shit than anyone could have in their body, and it was all over the couch, the floor, the wall somehow. And the second those fucking turds slid out of her ass, it smelled so vile that I think I actually went blind for a moment. Oh, and she was wearing a dress. Yeah. So I literally just fucking flip my shit and actually storm out of my own house. I'm outside and I scream angrily at the midnight moon, trying to figure out what to do now. At this point, I've completely given up on Pokemon. So you know that I felt defeated. I stayed outside for a few minutes so that I could cool down enough to murder Girl X. When I tried to re-enter my house, I was stopped by Jessie, who was literally in tears. She hands me a $5 bill and tells me to find a convenience store and buy Febreze. Febreze, bitch. What you gonna do with this Febreze? Behind her, I can literally see and figuratively shit all over my house. and Rick running around trying to clean everything up, I stare blankly at Jesse and just say, okay. Now, I'm wandering around at about 12:30 at night trying to find a fucking convenience store, but of course everything is closed. I start heading home and I'm frustrated as fuck, so I call my best friend. He was currently in the middle of studying for a final he had in a few days, but when I told him what happened, he dropped everything, got a bunch of cleaning supplies, and drove over in his mom's minivan. He was my dark knight, the hero I needed, not the one I deserved. So Dark Knight comes over and gives Rick and Jesse the cleaning supplies. My house is destroyed at this point. Paper towels all over the floor, drunk people running around breaking stuff, and it still smells terrible. At some point, drunk Rick and Jesse thought it was a good idea to strip Girl X completely naked and put her in the bathtub. So at about 1:30 a.m. at this point, I have two drunk friends running around trying to clean shit and a naked girl covered in her own vomit and shit in my bathtub. Dark Knight and I ask her how long she's been in there for and if anyone has checked up on her. Not surprisingly, my drunk friend didn't think to do that. So being the Dark Knight he is, the Dark Knight went in there and checked on Girl X and realized that she was pale as fuck. Shit. We call the paramedics because this girl may be dying. They get there pretty quickly and bring a stretcher into my house to wheel out Girl X, who had actually regained consciousness and had started crying again. Awesome. One of the paramedics asks me what happened and starts laughing hysterically when I tell him. The paramedics wheeling her out ask me if I have anything for Girl X to wear so that they don't have to take her to the ER naked. So to add insult to injury, I had to give Girl X some of my clothes to wear. They load up Girl X into the ambulance, and Rick offers to ride with her to keep her from freaking out. It's 2:30 a.m. at this point, and I am just totally done with this. Dark Knight Jesse and I pour cleaning solution all over the floor and clean up things as much as we can. The place still reeks of shit, so I refuse to sleep there tonight. Thankfully, Dark Knight was cool enough with me staying at his place. I open a few windows and then leave my home. My temple, my casa, completely destroyed. When I go to Dark Knight's house, it was around 3 a.m. and I was ready for bed. But before I went to sleep, I called my dad to tell him what happened. And my dad, being the most terrific person, was not mad at all. I left the next morning at about 9 a.m. and arrived home to my dad already doing some cleaning. So I help him for a couple more hours and then pass out in my bed. And that was the night shit got real. Please no more shit posts. This a different kind of shit post, baby. This a different kind of shit post. Number 29. My brother was at a party once where there was more than a couple of underage drinkers present. The house they were at had a thin driveway, so the cars were parked into a bottleneck. The night wore on, and around 1 a.m, people decided that they wanted to go home. They found the girl who owned the car at the front of the bottleneck and asked her to move the car so she could get out. She said she couldn't because she had a breathalyzer installed in her car and it wouldn't start until someone sober blew into it. They went around the party and tried to find someone who hasn't been drinking and couldn't find one. Another guy had the brilliant idea of asking the cool 20-something dude next door to do it. So the envoy of teens head over to the house next door and ask the dude living there if he would please blow into the breathalyzer so that they can leave. The dude takes a minute to look the group over, takes a drag of his cigarette and says, "You're going to give me $25 for every person at the party or I'm calling the cops." Oh my God. Oh shit. There's a new CMU out. I'm sorry. Look, Sorry, not that it matters. God, I have a Switch now, so I'll be able to play it. God. Whoa, whoa, whoa! But it boasts a game-changing feature for multi-core. Whoa! You promise? Where's Seamew? Where's Seamew? Where do you get it? Meh. Seamew 1-1. Okay, whoa, whoa, whoa! God, Kyle, you're in the middle of a list. All right, continue. You can deal with this later. You're going to give me $25 for every person at this party or I'm calling the police. I love that. It's like somebody said it played out like a movie in my head. Yeah, it kind of did. Oh my God. That's pretty amazing. 25 is a bit steep though. I would like to think I would stop at around 50 or 100. I'd say either I get $50 right now or I'm calling the cops. That way, only a couple people got to ante up. You know what I mean? 10 people give $5, y'all done. Y'all can get out of here. You know what I'm talking about? Banging on my door in the middle of the night. Better give me my money. Okay. 28. The worst was a large second year. Oh my God. Lexia says this reminds me of a party that I had at my house, but instead of shit, it was blood. Oh my God. Oh my God. Blood don't come out easy. I hope you got to it quickly, Lexeus. I wonder what made it squirt all over the place. Anyway, number 28. The worst was a large second-year college party at some kid's off-campus apartment. Some of us noticed that people kept disappearing without a word from the party until we opened a bedroom door and saw an orgy in progress, with people so boozed up or high that there were no boundaries as to who was doing what and to whom. Two couples got into a fight later when they realized their partners were doing each other, and the rest of us just left before things got worse. Orgy. That's the real life. Rhea lives that life when she gets into those wild orgy parties tonight. Suck on these titties, baby. Number 27. Boy, these are getting long. My party, I was 16. Parents went away for camping and left me alone. Told me not to have a party. Obviously, I didn't listen. About 50 people showed up. I knew them all, drank drinks, smoked weed, and for some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to drop some acid, baby. So I take the acid and I'm still partying along, and then we hear a huge party has broken up about 5 minutes from my house, and they're all headed this way. Uh-oh. Fast forward about an hour, and there are maybe 1,000 people packed into the house and backyard. Obviously, the acid is affecting me, so I'm kind of freaking out. One of my friends ends up calling the police, and they show up and break the party up. That's a real friend, man. You know the party's gotten out of control when somebody has to call the police to get this shit, yo, can you please? You know what I mean? Y'all gonna have to slip the police some money to fuck it. Look, we actually called you because we got scared. There are too many people here. No issues. I thought it would be a good idea to hide in a cupboard while it was all happening. Turns out it was a good idea because I distinctly remember eating some jelly beans in there. Oh. Anyway, after the police and everyone had gone, we were smoking weed in a big circle on the back veranda, and these two random dudes that know someone just kind of walked in. Everyone was relaxing at that point, so they just sat in the circle and we all kept smoking. These two random dudes get up and leave and then come running back in the house screaming that someone stole their bicycles and accusing everyone that was left of doing it. Remember the acid I took? Well, by this point I was fully in the grips of it. So a few of my big friends took control, grabbed these dudes, threw them out of the front door, and closed it behind them. What happens next is burnt into my brain, probably due to being a 16 and knowing I was in trouble, and probably because of the acid. One of the dudes that were thrown out one of the dudes that were thrown back comes back up to the front door and smashes his hand through the glass, reaches in, unlocks the door, and comes running back in. I am standing about 3 feet from the door when all of this happens, so obviously I lose my shit, start crying, and run into the kitchen whilst my larger, tougher, non-acided mate takes charge and fights these two guys. One of the bad dudes pulls a knife. The other bad dude got thrown through a plate glass window, and bits of his forehead were hanging down on his face. Blood pouring everywhere. It's like an actual movie. They turn your house into like a movie set for some stunt fights. He went flying through a window. What the fuck? But his face is hanging off. In face off. More people call the police. The fighting continues. A few people get slashed with the knife. And there is unbelievable amounts of blood spraying all over my house. The ceiling ended up needing to be repainted, and the hardwood floors had to be sanded back and restained to give you an idea of the amount of blood. Anyway, eventually the bad guys leave. The cops show up about 15 minutes later, and because people were stabbed or whatever, I had to call my parents at 3 in the morning and get them to come back from their camping trip, which was about a 4-hour drive. All in all, a terrible night. The first time I ever did acid, and the party I shouldn't have ended up costing the insurance company like 10 grand to fix everything that got fucked up. Lucky you had insurance that covered any of this bullshit. Lexia says, who liked the girl with the bleeding hand to lock the bathroom door and not let me in? Even when I had gone out to get first aid and some random dude stole my shower curtains, never had another party. That sounds so terrible, Mr. Nudie. That sounds so terrible. You know what I mean? People are awful, but they just have to do certain things to make you go, why the fuck would you? You're bleeding, and you know you're bleeding all over somebody's shit. Just get out. Just get out. You know? We're the types of people where we're so considerate and so aware and so anxiety ridden that we would sooner want to be a burden onto ourselves than ever be a burden to other people. So what you mean you in somebody else's house clogging up their toilet with your crap? It's bleeding all over the place. You're going to steal somebody's shower curtains. What is wrong with people? Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear it, man. But as we continue up this list, we reach number 26. I invite a bunch of people, of close friends, and one friend of a friend that I had just started talking to a week before, and we're going to call her L, to my flat warming. I don't get drunk, but I do enjoy getting tipsy. So while drinking, I'm eating lots of food. Stupidly, I leave my bottle of wine on the floor while I go to make food. Things get hazy. The last thing I remember is coming into the lounge with my Doctor Who Monopoly. Ooh. Then I wake up the following afternoon in my flatmate's bed. He came home half an hour later and comforted me, covered in poo, with my cell phone missing and my laptop not turning on. I went and had a shower crying, then knocked on my other flatmate's door. The story goes like this. I started acting funny, got changed into a cosplay of mine in front of whoever was watching, asked for more booze, to which I drank a third bottle of straight vodka, burped, then smashed the empty bottle on the floor, gave a blowjob to a guy, then vomited all over him. Nigga, you gay? You gay though? I gave a blowjob to a guy, then vomited all over him. Are you a girl? Her name is Pamela. This is a girl. This is a girl. Say you're a girl. God. You changed into your cosplay. Okay. God. This could have been scary. Lexia says I missed the first part. Basically, a girl thought it'd be a great idea to slam a shot glass on the counter while it was still on her hand. She bled all over my kitchen, living room, bedroom, and 2 bathrooms. 2 bathrooms? The highlight was a girl who liked the girl with the bleeding hand. Who liked the girl with the bleeding hand to lock the bathroom door and not let me in. Even when I had gone to get first aid. Oh my God. Listen. Wow. Back to this story, okay? This chick gave a blowjob to a guy, then vomited all over him, all while L is giving me orange juice mixed with more alcohol. She also got a wooden spoon from the kitchen that she wanted to put in my ass. She took medication from my med bag that I had previously used for constipation, 1 tablespoon, mixed it with yogurt, and gave me half the bottle. This sounds like a bitch that hates you. After that story, I went to see my bedroom. You can imagine the sight and the smell. Oh my God. My cosplay was Tiny Tina from Borderlands 2. This chick looking kind of manly. This is why I like my titties huge. You see what I'm saying? And that's not what's going on here. You're cosplaying as a little girl from a video game. Guys, stop. Stop, guys. I don't like this. I don't like this. This is where I want to get off. Kyle wants to get off here. Okay? Not in that way. Oh, God. Lissa says, night, Kyle. Night all. Hope you have a wonderful Christmas, and I hope that, you know, things get amazing for you. I love you. Have a great night. As we continue, man. Jesus Christ. Number 25. White racist redneck guy took his shirt off to reveal prison swastika tattoos. Also pulled out a loaded pistol, saying we should go shoot niggers down in Mooresville. He began waving his gun around, getting upset. He was already super wasted. I left the room and just about left the party, but the guy who owned the house made him put the gun out in his car. Fast forward a couple of hours, we were playing beer pong. Drunk, wasted, racist swastika dude was playing on a team with his wife. Me and my friend were his opponents. He was too drunk to hit anything and his sober wife sucked, so he used distraction tactics. He took his dick out and flopped it into the cups. His dick was fucking huge. After a while, that stopped phasing us. So he decided to take his 20-year-old wife's clothes off. He stripped her naked while she was sober, the only girl at the party in front of like 20 other drunk dudes. She did not look comfortable, but also did not stop him. After a while, once that wore off, he and her go outside of the table, still naked, and flirt with us. He had her go to our side of the table, still naked, and flirt with us, rubbing our chests and whispering in our ear. That's when I bailed. Next time I saw him was after my friend's death. Drunk racist dude had given a buddy of mine a bunch of pills, and my buddy, like an idiot, took them, started feeling weird, drove home, and died when his heart blew up. Nigga, what? What? He took some pills and his heart blew up. Nobody found him for 3 days. The drunk racist dude showed up at my work crying because he hadn't been invited to the funeral, because he had essentially killed him. He was upset that nobody seemed to care about him and that even his wife had left him, thank Christ. I don't know why he thought I would care, but he said I was the only one he could talk to. I had only ever met him twice before this. It was awkward, and I told him he'd be okay. He just needed to figure some stuff out. I was pretty honest with him about all the shit that he had done, which was stupid. He agreed. I bought him a pack of cigarettes. I worked at a gas station at the time, and he rode off on his motorcycle. Never heard from him again after that. No idea what happened. Man. Number 24. All right. Was invited to a sorority party and thought it was going to be like the movies, you know, wild. Boy, was I wrong. I ended up sitting in the corner of a room smoking hash all night and watched one girl eat an entire roast chicken by herself. I sauntered home blazed as fuck at midnight, and there was no alcohol at the party. It wasn't like the movies. That sounds like quite the interesting sorority. boy. Number 23. Backstory. We had a friend that liked to throw parties, but most of the people that showed up were underage, including me. I went to a few of his parties, but he lived in a dorm, and the parties got bigger and bigger, so my significant other and I got sketched out and stopped going. Good thing, too, because the next one got busted. Around 50 underage people with 2 guys that were 21, the host, and another random friend. The host was charged and kicked out of the dorm, and everyone except for the of-age friend had to go do student conduct. Fast forward a couple of months, and he's throwing another party in his new apartment. I was living in the same complex, and my roommates and I decided we'd go. The host had hyped it up a bit. He had a Facebook page for his parties, and it was supposed to start at around 10. Of course, we don't show up on time because that's uncool. We get there at around 11 after pre-gaming a bit. When we get there, there's techno music and lights in the window, but when the door opens, there's no one there but the host and a keg of Shock Tap. It's just me, 3 friends I brought, and the lonely host. We tried to pick it up a bit by playing some drinking games, but the host was desperately texting everyone in his phone to try to get more people to come and not even paying attention to the 4 guests that he did have. At one point, a few more people knocked on the door, but they left when they saw it was empty. He ended up putting on Space Jam. We left about 30 minutes in because we couldn't take it anymore. Everybody get up. It's time to slam now. We've got a real jam going now. Welcome to the space. Number 22. I went to another college to visit some friends. I walked through the door and realized something's wrong. They were all drunk and watching some fat chick poop on the floor. I left 5 minutes later, still laughing hysterically. 5 minutes, though, of some fat chick pooping on the floor. 5 minutes. Do you guys go to parties, find a fat bitch pooping on the floor, and then stay for 5 more minutes? Number 21. I was something like 24, a Peace Corps trainer. The group were training, I was mostly women, like 27 women and 2 guys. The other trainer, a buddy of mine, was shacking up with one of the trainees and not present at the party. It was near the end, around New Year's, which in the country we were is very hot. Had a local party, local sort of bungalow hotel for expats. This hotel had a large pool. Almost all of these 27 women, after 14 weeks, were so horny and pent up with being told how to act properly and be a good ambassador that they went absolutely wild. I would say 80% of them got naked and jumped into the pool. And of course, there was a hotel bar. I can clearly remember one woman dancing sort of trance dance, completely nude on the edge next to the diving board. And let me say now, these were attractive women. A few bookish retiring types, but I would say nearly all of them were well above average in the looks. It was shockingly beautiful training group. I was one of the first in the water, but here's what made it a bad night. I had a girlfriend, a local woman who was also a language teacher for the Peace Corps. She kept an extremely close eye on me, so close that she marched me into our hotel room just after midnight and made me go to sleep where she could see me. Outside, less than 20 yards from our hotel room, 20 or so naked American 20-something women were frolicking in the pool, wanting basically anything male to party with them. So yeah, my God. My God. My heart goes out, dude. My God. That's so sad. We don't come here on Christmas to be sad for this guy. You poor soul. Oh, man. This poor guy. Somebody, the furry, says, "Or that happened." Why you don't believe it happened? If he said he fucked them all, then maybe you could claim it happened, but he didn't. His woman took him and made his ass go to sleep. That's very basic. That's very basic. A group of ladies get fucking crazy. Girls get crazy in groups, especially when there's alcohol involved. You can't give a bitch a mimosa without her getting fucking sloppy. You know what I'm talking about? Sloppy. Oh, Lord. Number 20. High school late 80s at an outside party with a bonfire to celebrate the end of the school year. Some numbnuts throws a glass bottle of beer into the fire. About 20 minutes later, the bottle explodes and shoots a stream of boiling beer all over a girl's crotch and legs. The ambulance was called. I believe she required several skin grafts over several months. I can still remember her shrill scream and then her passing out. That is so sad. That is so sad because of some idiot. That sounds horrifying, you know. I don't want to be nowhere with anybody around nothing. Bodies of water, nope. Open flames, nope. You know what I mean? That's the saddest thing that we've read so far, is that some idiot threw a bottle in a fire, and then some other bitch minding her own business got this boiling stream of shit all over her. Gonna need skin grafts now. You know what I mean? Because of some idiot. Holy hell. Oh my God. Right in the crotch. You know? As we roll up to number 19, my sister's birthday was in the middle of school holidays, and her 7th birthday, she had a party that no one turned up to. Turns out our mother put the wrong date on the invite, so a lot of people had tried to come over the day before while we were out. Oh my God. Yo, stupid moms, nah. Number 18. My buddy's girlfriend jerked off his dog while he was out back talking. She did it to prove she could get anyone or anything off. Someone responds, I bet every guy around her was really disappointed when I can get anyone off turned into watch while I get this dog off. Come on, Red Rocket, Red Rocket. Oh my God, disgusting. As we roll up to number 17, I visited a buddy of mine at his college and he invited me to his fraternity's party. They forgot to send the social media or social email to the sorority, so none of them showed up. This was supposed to be a huge party, so all the bros showed up hammered and angry at seemingly everyone that there was no girls. It was a toga party, 55 dudes, 0 girls, 55 togas. Oh boy. Number 16. Kid hosting the party didn't plan on dad coming home. Dad shows up, freaks out, cuts off his kid's fingers with a decorative sword. Party ended. Kid went to the hospital to have his 5 fingers reattached and showed back up at the house we moved the party to with a huge cast on. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're forced to think about things with this one. Maybe if you swipe just right with a sword, you can slice off 4 fingers. You know what I mean? Let's think he just got maybe 2 or something. But the fact that the kid came back to go to the party, come on now. Come on now. Boy, as we roll up to 15, somebody brought their baby. Keep in mind, we were all 17 years old. What the fuck? 17-year-olds with babies normally make such good decisions. Yeah, you brought your baby to a party and you 17 years old. That sounds like something Sarah Edwards would do. Number 14, the floor collapsed under the weight of a throng of jumping freshmen. Well, I'm sorry, some guys, ended up where they wanted to be, on top of people. Bing bong. Number 13, a couple of months ago, I went to my friend's party. which was joint with his flatmates. About 20 minutes after we got there, the housemate started banging on a glass with a fork, and one of my friends got everyone to quiet down, assuming it was a speech. The guy then says, "There are too many people here that I don't know," and told most of my friends to leave. He took us down to let us out, but couldn't unlock the front door, so we had to awkwardly stand there for 15 minutes until he found the housemate we were friends with and made him let us all out. Somebody said this guy sounds like a dick. I mean, yeah. Yeah. My God. Number 11. Some girl apparently had made out with a guy who wasn't her boyfriend before leaving. My phone keeps lighting up like I'm getting a Snapchat, but it says that the snap like the most recent snap is from 36 minutes ago. From someone named Marcy. I don't know no damn Marcy's. Alright. That's somebody fucking catfishing again. Alright. Okay. Number 11. Some girl apparently had made out with a guy who wasn't her boyfriend before leaving. Someone at the party tells him via text, and a little while later, someone is kicking down the door. He barges in, waving a gun around, screaming, "Which one of you motherfuckers made out with my girl?" People are ducking, scurrying around, and I'm just standing there thinking, if this is how I die, I'm gonna be pissed. Host, who knew him, quickly pushes him out of the door. I've never understood this mentality. Why wouldn't he blame his girlfriend? She knows who her boyfriend is. Yeah, shoot the bitch. Don't shoot a dude. It ain't his fault that this bitch got loose lips upstairs and downstairs. Talking about vaginal lips. Talking about vagina lips. Vagina lips. Talking about vagina lips. As we arrive at number 10. An old friend who unfortunately is no longer with us threw house parties all the time in high school. It would usually be about 15 to 30 people huge, people getting wasted, doing hard drugs. This one particular time he hosted a massive high school party because his parents weren't home. So he apparently had between 80 to 90 of us teenagers at his house partying like crazy. Ecstasy, coke, mushrooms, and of course, tons of pot and booze. About an hour and a half goes by and people are messing up and having a blast. I did about 4 to 5 grams of shrooms that night. So I was toast, baby. My buddy who hosted the party filled up capsules with nutmeg. Yes, nutmeg. And he was swallowing those all night. So like I said, an hour and a half goes by and someone asks him where his parents went on vacation. His response: they're not on vacation. They went out to watch a movie. We're just going to Google that. We're going to take an internet journey. Large doses of nutmeg cause hallucinogenic high. Shut up. A sprinkle of nutmeg in eggnog or a pinch in apple pie can add the perfect pinch to a holiday dessert, but winter's favorite spice has also made headlines as an unconventional way of getting high. It's called a nutmeg high. Nutmeg contains Rick and Morty, a natural compound that has a mind-altering effect if ingested in large doses. The buzz feed can last 1 to 2 days and can become hallucinogenic like LSD. Oh shit for you and me. So like I said, an hour and a half goes by and someone asks where his parents went on vacation. They're not on vacation. They went out to watch a movie. Just then is when the car rolled up on the driveway filled with a bunch of drunk, ad-stoned teenagers. Everyone ran out of the house and to park in the closest to his place. Every single person in that house took off. Everyone. Even the guy who hosted the party. I don't know if he was worried his parents would kill him or if the nutmeg fucked him up so much that he didn't know he was at his own house. Man, I miss that guy. How did he die? Because you say he's no longer with us. Dude, all we do is not get answers to questions. Okay? I need to cut my damn fingernails, which means I need to go to the dollar store. Hey, a snap. Let's totally not take the time to look at it right meow. Yay! I mean, people are really sweet. This whole Nintendo Switch Christmas was a real hit, guys. Thank you. As we roll up to number 8. No, number 9. Number 9, I haven't read this one. Senior year of college, me and 2 classmates rented a big crappy house in which we held big crappy parties most weekends. We were all theater majors, so every time a show opened or some big event occurred in our major, we invited everyone over afterward to get sloppy and stupid. One of our last parties before graduation, my roommate invited her friend from high school down. He seemed like a pretty nice guy, and when I met him during the day and at the party, he was even nicer, giving out bumps of cocaine to all of our friends in my roommate's bedroom! ! Now, I'm too prudish about drug use, though I wouldn't do coke myself. I don't necessarily have a problem with other people doing so, but this dude was a bona fide drug dealer, so I drank a little more and avoided my roommate's bedroom. Flash forward a few hours and suddenly some coked out chick I don't know is puking in our fridge. Plenty of people have puked at my house. It's what you get when you throw parties, but never in my fucking fridge. I had just gone grocery shopping earlier that day, so I was feeling pretty pissed. At least this girl was kind enough to move over to the sink for her second wave. As I accompany the girl out of the house and call her a cab, her friends arrive and are all, "Where are you taking our sick friend? She's sick. Who are you?" I respond, "I live here, and your friend just vomited on my cauliflower." The friends are also pretty drunk, not sure if they were coked out, but they might have been. Anyway, they shout a little bit at me, but when they realize that I'm actually not doing anything wrong, they start shouting at their friend for being such a fucking freshman. By that point, the girl is sitting on my lawn and pulling up the grass. I explain that I've called a cab and tell the 2 others just to wait until it gets here and to please get their friend home. Back inside, the party is starting to wane, and I'm grateful because I've got a fucking fridge to clean. But when I arrive in the kitchen, there's the cocaine dealer, whistling a happy tune and cleaning the puke out of my fridge. He looks at me and says, "Hey, don't worry, man, I've got this." Next morning, the coke dealer is gone, but the fridge is spotless. He even brought me some new cauliflower. What a nice guy. What a nice guy. I mean, I like to think if I had cocaine money, I'd be the nicest guy in the world as well. Sorry, I was just thinking about how I wasn't going to pay for this stupid I actually hope that's not still on my wish list. How I wasn't going to pay for this controller. There it is. Let's get it off of there. For the Nintendo Switch, because it's like $67, which is more than the video games cost. So what I bought was this little dongle. It's like it's a little thing that you plug into the Wii, not the Wii, the Switch, and then you can plug in your PS4 or Xbox controller and use that on the fucking Wii. I shit you not. And it cost $25. And I was a little lost. Just thinking about the madness of it. I hope they don't patch that shit and make it so that I can't use it. Chuckster says you better use that damn toaster, Kyle. You know, I actually haven't unboxed it yet. I love you, but I'm gonna. I bought some toaster strudels, so, you know, I have something to break that in with. You know? What a nice drug dealer. He even bought new cauliflower, man. That's a bit much. Number 8. Since many of these stories are about drunk people shitting and puking all over and horrible things like that, allow me to lighten the mood with a little bit of comedy. For one unlucky tween party goer, this was definitely the worst party ever. My pal had a birthday sleepover. We were in 8th or 9th grade, I think. Street Fighter 2 had just come out for the Super Nintendo, and that was basically all we did. His parents had laid out some snacks and drinks, and on a party table there was one of these huge bags of Doritos. So we're playing Street Fighter when one of these guys grabs a chip and bit into it and yelled, "Ugh, this chip is wet." He began investigating the bag and he quickly discovered that all of the chips were wet. The birthday boy's 5-year-old little brother had taken advantage of our Street Fighter distraction and licked all of the Dorito dust from every chip and placed them back in the bag. We found him playing in his room with his face covered in the implicating dust. Ew. What the hell? You little bastard. You licked the fucking dust, you monster. Ugh. Put it back in the bag. Number 7. Acquaintance that I had met weeks prior invited me to a surprise party for his girlfriend. He said free beer was there. Free beer. You alright, Kyle? He said free beer was there. So I was there. I show up and it's pre-gaming, your usual college shenanigans. Person in charge of keeping her busy texts him and says that they'll be there soon. We are all pretty blitzed at this point, but we managed to start hiding. 2 minutes pass, then 2 more, then nothing. Finally, I get up to go find him. He's getting a blowjob from one of the other girls at the party. They barely noticed me, but in the meantime, the girlfriend came to the front door and she couldn't have been more excited. Everything other than that was going great until I was formally introduced to the girl giving some sloppy head. It was the girlfriend's sister. No one at the party knew except me. That was the worst party because it sobered me up pretty quick with awkwardness that night. Girlfriend, sister giving blowjobs. Merry Christmas. Number 5, because 6 is deleted. I made out with my ex-wife's mother at a poolside party. Yes, alcohol was involved. Someone asks if you're in a Maroon 5 video. Remember Maroon 5, guys? Oh my God. Number 4. Over 10 years ago, my employees got together to throw me a going away party. It was held at a local bar that had closed to the public for the party. So of course I'm feeling really special. There was a kid there around 19 years old who was a really good guy, but generally attracted trouble. I used to talk to him all the time, and anytime I sensed that he was about to step out and do something stupid, I used to always say, you know the worst gift a kid can give his mother? A dead son. There was a long story behind that, but it just somehow became a thing I always said to him. Anyway, I gave a quick speech and started to duck out just as things were livening up, so everybody could have their fun while I returned to my wife and our newborn. I bumped into that kid on the way out, talked to him a bit, and of course the dead son line was the last thing I ever said before I left. Actually, I said, you know the worst gift? And he answered, a dead son. Gave me a hug, and that was that. Pretty obvious how this story ends. Got a call a few hours later telling me that he was killed in a car wreck. Turned out that he was trying to do good, hadn't drank a drop, no drugs or anything. He just got into the wrong car and let a drunk idiot drive him home. There were about 4 kids in the car, and he was the only one that didn't walk away. Sad. Sad, sad, sad. Rhea says, so like she's sucking the dick of her sister's boyfriend? Exactly. Exactly what she's doing. That's exactly what she's doing. So we continue. Number 3. I went to a friend's graduation party after high school. It wasn't great friends with him, but I figured I would stop by with my girlfriend because he was nice enough to invite me. The party was so done up, tables full of food, streamers, confetti, all that shit, and my girlfriend and I were the only ones there. I felt awful. His parents clearly went all out to celebrate it, and it was so uncomfortable being one of 5 people there, including him and his parents, that I felt awful for him. We stayed for hours out of pity and just kind of made small talk. Super depressing. Ooh. I didn't want these on the list. I didn't want like nobody shows up shit on the list. Wait, what's going on with Momo? Momo says, my family doesn't celebrate Christmas. The only thing I got is a migraine and finals. Feel bad for Momo, y'all. He's looking for that pity. He's looking for that, all right? My family doesn't celebrate Christmas. I mean, you know how it is. Simple Vision Video says, Kyle, any particular reason for no music? Guys, can you not hear the music? Maybe this is better. I just adjusted it. Is that better? It's barely audible, they say. Oh, shit. It was turned down in Audacity. I understand now. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. These things happen. That must have sounded whack as hell with no music. It must have really sounded weird. I like to always have it right behind me. I'm sorry. That's whack. I'm sorry. The whole list so far? Fuck me. It's been too much of my voice then. Ugh. Ugh. Now it's too loud? I don't know. Okay. Ugh. I'm sorry. Right at the end, dude. Fuck a doodle doo. This is why the chat's even there sometimes, so I can have people go, whoa, 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 Kyle, not loud enough, not seeing anything, shit like that. You guys are here to keep me on the rails. Number 2, I was at a trashy shotgun wedding reception and slipped off to piss in the bushes. I guess you're, when in Rome, do as the Romans do, huh? When I came back, there were 2 blonde strippers dressed as cops arresting the groom. I said, who the fuck rents strippers for a wedding? Really loud, right as the music cut out. They weren't strippers. They weren't strippers. Those must have been some hot bitch fucking... Are you kidding me? Those must have been really done up fucking whorish looking cops. A lot of women cops, you figure, are not amazingly, like, you know, putting a lot of effort into their makeup or something. You know what I mean? Because a stripper's got to have a very specific look visually. This is ridiculous. Number 1 on this list, because I have another list to get to. Holy hell. A friend told me about this corporate party held for the client he was at. Okay. Open bar, pretty dull, with people being on their best behavior to schmooze and make the clients feel important. It was an open bar, in the sense that employees were understood to hold their shit together. One very, very low on the totem pole employee got hammered drunk with one of their biggest clients and finger banged the hell out of her in the pool for like half an hour. He was fired that following Monday, probably worth it, as he was making minimum wage. Well, if it was worth it, man. Flip-de-dibble-de-doo. Flip-de-dibble-de-doo. Excuse me. I wonder how everybody is. We're going to drift into the other list. Why am I starting here? This doesn't even have 1,000 upvotes. It's from 5 years ago. Holy shit. I know this kid, we'll call him Carl, who decided it would be fun to play with fire whilst very fucked up. We've all been there. However, it just so happens that Carl has balls of steel and absolutely no self-preservation instincts. I'm at my friend's house, and we're just having a kickback, drinking and whatnot. The party is winding down, and there's only a few people left. I go to buy more beer, and when I leave, the kid is hitting tennis balls dipped in Vaseline with a baseball bat in the backyard, and whatever, it's not my house. Fast forward 15 minutes later, and I shit you not, I pull up to the house, and the fucking street is on fire. A solid 10-foot chunk of the street is fully ablaze, and I can smell the gasoline. The cops are everywhere. There is a police chopper in the fucking distance. Fucking Carl. So I park the car and run up to the house to find the girl who owns the place crying her eyes out. She goes on to tell me that Carl, in his infinite wisdom, had decided to try to build a Molotov cocktail, succeeded. However, when he tried to hit the wall in the backyard, he threw it too high and hit the street instead. He then proceeded to pour the rest of the 5 gallons of gasoline on the already raging inferno. Carl booked it when he heard the sirens, and a full-on manhunt with dogs and helicopters ensued. Yet somehow he got off with no charges. Once again, fuck Carl. How did he do that? How do you get off with no charges? Did nothing burn down, so it's not arson? I am shocked. Chris Pyle says, Kyle, I had ass surgery a few days ago, and I've really appreciated the regular streams. They've helped me through recovery a lot. Well, I appreciate you, and I'm glad that you're recovering, and I hope that it's a quick one. I hope that it's a quick one. I hope you're all doing well. Your meat responds about an hour late saying, I can just hear the music. I didn't know people could fall behind the stream that hard, but I guess it can happen. I want to turn that music up even more, but I don't want it to be so loud that people are not all right with it. You know, who knows how it has to be. So if the music's too loud, tell me to turn it down. And if it's not loud enough, tell me to turn it up. Number 9, 2 girls died and more were injured It was fucking terrifying. There were hundreds of people there, and the party had split out onto the streets. A car drove around the people, and he was found guilty of murder. A car drove through some people. God damn. Holy hell. Number 8, man. I went to a party at a friend's house in the middle of nowhere where a few people were dropping acid. Everyone else was blackout drunk except for the designated drivers like me. Needless to say, weird things happened. One girl was running around the yard hugging, sometimes humping trees, and naming their souls. A drag queen showed up, swilling gin straight up out of the bottle. I looked out of the kitchen window at some point, and a few guys from the party were herding my friend's cattle into another field through his yard. A gay orgy broke out in the office of all places. Oh my God. My buddy was passed out on his bed, and my friend was almost at the point where she was going to be sick in my car, so we left. I came back the next morning to grab a few of the things that I forgot and found my friend asleep on the floor while where his bed used to be. Out of the window, I can see his bed in the middle of the field that the cattle used to be in, perfectly made. The bed linens were blowing in the breeze like a damn fabric softener commercial. He has a wooden bed with a large headboard and footboard, so several people have to have disassembled the sucker, taken it outside, reassembled it, and then put the sheets back on it. Motherfuckers even did the hospital corners and threw decorative pillows on there. Just so. My friend had no recollection of getting up and moving whatsoever. Nothing was broken or stolen, including the livestock. An anonymous group of someones had cleaned the house, done the dishes, taken out the trash by the time I returned. Nobody remembered or confessed to doing this. This is my type of party. This is my type of party. Hey, what are you guys talking about here? What are you guys talking about? Episode 1 to 6, Lexeus? What is Lee Lock of Resurrection? If this is a goddamn anime. If this is a goddamn anime, so help me God. Why do I feel like this is a goddamn anime? It's an anime. You fucking weebs. You fucking weebs. How did Kayela know it? It's another goddamn anime. Not even a big titty anime either. It's got to be pure action then, huh? Pure action. Oh well. Needs to be a Rhea in the anime. As we roll up to number 6. Northeastern University, Boston, Halloween, 1981. I was a freshman that year, and it just so happened that Halloween was on a Saturday night. There's a street just off campus that's lined with 3-story brownstones, and all of the flats were rented out to the students. Damn near every flat had a Halloween party that night, and they'd had all day to party. Somewhere that evening, the partiers just poured out of the flats, and it became a huge block party, a huge block-long party. Fueled by drugs and alcohol, things started getting out of control. People started forgetting where their clothes and costumes were. Some small fires were started. Then cars started getting flipped over and added to the small fires. A busload of Asian tourists unfortunately took a wrong turn at Albuquerque and ended up on the street. And it was taken as a challenge, with about 100 people on each side trying to see if they could flip over the bus and yelling, "Heave, ho." At that point, the cops became something less than amused and called out the riot squad in full helmets, shields, and body armor. Barricades of flaming dumpsters were erected, and that's about the time that the tear gas canisters started being fired into the crowd. I forgot how many were eventually arrested. Good times. Good times. Bing bong. Bing bong. Helen P says, "Hey Kyle, hope you have a great Christmas." I'm trying to do so. I love you all. Bing bong. Wait a minute.
Meh.
Okay. Well, as we continue, number 5. I was at a friend's 21st birthday in a warehouse in an industrial area. Everyone was high on mushrooms, coke, MDMA, cannabis, alcohol, and whatever else was going around that night. A band was having a loud jam and everyone was dancing frenetically. There were jugglers and fire twirlers. They had a keyboardist that was so coked up he headbutted the keys and there was blood dripping out of his forehead while he played his solo. We heard a loud bang on the front door, everyone stopped playing, and we went out to peer through the letterbox hole. I didn't see because I was tripping and a little scared that they were gonna stab me in the eye through the hole, but it was a few guys with balaclavas and knives and guns. None of us had any weapons. We tried to escape out of the back, but there were guys waiting around there too. They screamed at us to shut the fuck up and let them in or they were gonna kill us. After not too much deliberation, we decided to not let them in and call the cops. They started trying to hack the door down with a crowbar, then when luckily the cops arrived just in time and they ran off into the night. Turned out they ran a meth lab in the warehouse next door and didn't want any noise complaints drawing attention. What the hell? Man, you know, I've been to a lot of wretched hives of scum and villainy, but I'm pretty sure that I haven't been in a situation where, let's say I could fucking die because some people running in trying to protect their meth lab. Like, what the fuck? You know what I'm talking about? Sounds scary as hell. All right. So as we continue up, we arrive at number 4. I talked to a girl. I was going to recite the I fell in love with a girl lyrics, but I don't remember the lyrics. Isn't that by the White Stripes?
Fell in love with a girl.
Okay, number 3, man. Ooh, boy, these are just lengthy. Here I am in my flat party in England in 1999. Someone threw a cigarette in my beer glass. I accidentally drank it, and I feel like I may have to barf. Both the toilets are taken. I run from the floor down. No, I run from one floor down outside the building, barf my ass off in the garden on the left, and when I come around, I see the neighbor's window open. My neighbor, who I know is at my party and is living alone. And someone has opened his window and entered. I go near the window and carefully see some bloke with a travel bag picking up his valuables, a Dreamcast, some electrical stuff, and I run back to my flat party and tell everyone there's a burglar in the next house. People call the police, but by then the drunk mob rule mentality is taking over. Hell yeah, let's go beat this asshole's ass. Hell yeah. People pick up broom handles and another bloke picks up some heavy duty duct tape and some giant ass trash bags. Yeah, we're gonna kill this bitch and put him in that bag. Yeah. Then they all run across to the burglared house next door. The burglar sees them, panics, and tries to leave through the same window, but a couple of drunks intercept him and fall on him. The rest arrive. The guy with the broom handle hits him once or twice, but not seriously, jamming up his ass now. I doubt he even really bruised him, but the point is the burglar's busted. He's so terrified of this drunken mob that he doesn't even try to escape. He just lies down on the grass petrified. What about the duct tape guy? Yeah, duct tape guy arrives. After some struggle, we finally manage to tie his legs together, and after this we tie his hands and then his arms, and in a fit of full drunken stupor we get to fit the big ass trash bag around him and we wrap him up in a Christmas present, like a Christmas present. Yeah, like Skinner in that duffel bag. Skinner bag. Come on, I want a picture of Skinner in that bag. Oh my god, not that. Principal Skinner. Yeah, in that dodgeball bag.
Yeah.
After some struggle, we finally managed to get his legs tied together and we tie him up like a Christmas present. The only thing out of the pack of bags being his head. He looks like a huge ass cartoon caterpillar. We tie him up even more with everything we got. Someone even brought scotch tape and wrapped it around him just for kicks. The dude, being pretty tall and thin and untrained as hell, is just sitting there mumbling in shock to be let go and that he won't come back again. We all start cheering up again when the other guy has the fantastic notion to go to an all-nighter supermarket and buy a pack of rubber bands to wrap around the cat burglar. And we wait for him about 10 minutes, starting to sober up. The police are still nowhere in sight. The guy who went to the supermarket returns not with rubber bands, but with some pretty heavy rope. Nigga, y'all gonna kill this guy? Here's where I go up to my room to see if everything was all right. And when I return, I see the rest of the party people have tied and raising the burglar upside down by his feet on a lamp post like a piñata. We kept him hanging there for about 20 minutes before the police arrived. By the time they arrived, we had turned the speakers towards the street and were partying around the human caterpillar. I think someone offered the dude some beer, but he couldn't drink it upside down. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, look, guys, we don't want to talk about Outlaw Star here. I remember that place. That anime had a very special place in my heart. I like that one. I like how that bitch was in the, there was a naked bitch on the ship. That's how I would want my ship. If I had a ship that was traveling in space, I would want a hot, naked bitch in some water, you know? You know what I mean? She could breathe and stuff, make sure she could breathe and all that. But she's just like in like a little tube, you know, and she's part of the ship, bro. She's part of the ship. Aesthetic, you know? You can say that the deck of your ship is amazing, you know what I mean? The bridge of your ship is cool, but does it have a sexy naked lady and some water in there? You know what I'm talking about? No, it does not. Rhea, learn how to breathe underwater. We could set some stuff up. Francis Castrion says, how long has this stream been? 100 stories, goddamn. The stream's been going for 2 hours and 41 minutes. So as we roll up to number 2 on this list, a friend happens to own this. Oh, shit. Oh my God. She invited everyone for her 21st birthday party. We had a baby quail as part of our 3-course meal in the Great Hall, which is essentially Hogwarts. They filmed part of Harry Potter and the Woman in Black in her house. Oh my God. It was a masquerade ball. I dueled with sabers, spray-painted lambs, drank champagne on the turret, watching the sunrise, swam in the lake, slept on a church altar, woke up the next day on a double-decker bus to find everyone had gone home, and had to wade through a sea of tourists to go brush my teeth in my bloodied shirt dressed as a pirate. Found 3 others who were left behind, and we chilled and hung over on a trampoline while she made us bacon sandwiches. Unlimited food and alcohol, things were smashed. People were smashed. It was the best party I have ever been to in my life. Oh my God. Jealous. But then again, I'm a fucking nerd, you know what I mean? So I would want like a big titty geeky book reading chick to be all like, oh my God, where's my top? And we're, instead of partying at the Hogwarts house, we're at like where they filmed the X-Men movies. We're at like Xavier's mansion. Because I mean, hey, this girl got gifts, I got gifts. And when we come together, digga 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 digga. As we go to number 10 on the other list, A girl got drunk and passed out. Some guys pooped on her face and took pictures. This happened 2 to 3 years ago. She has a lot of Twitter followers now. I'm looking at the camera right now. I know there's no camera for y'all, but I'm looking at the camera right now. They did what? It's really funny, guys. It's really funny, guys. Because we think to ourselves how terrible it is in this very list that people at a party are just going to have a good time, and somebody would come in with a gun fueled by emotion and then shoot someone, shoot random people. How fucked up is that? But then you read shit like this and you're thinking, yeah, baby, some people deserve to get shot. What you mean? What you mean you pooped on a girl's face? Better you slip something in her drink and have sex with her than to take a shit on her face? Bro. Number 9. A friend of mine was at a party the cops busted. It was Halloween, so everyone was in costume, and this one dude was dressed as Jack Sparrow. I've read this story before. The cops come in, and this guy who was super hammered at this point stands right next to the open window and says, "You'll always remember this as the day you almost caught Jack Sparrow." Proceeds to jump out of the second story window and breaks his leg. I have read this before. Was it on this list? I've read this before, dude. I've read this before. Banal Vulgarian says, Streamlabs keeps crashing when I try to give Kyle money. Never tried to do it from my phone before. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I feel like it works for people, but I mean, do people use another link that works better? I'd say just give it another shot and see what happens. Number 8. I got stranded with no ride at a duplex owned by some guys. They were college students, but sort of inspired by the Duck Dynasty look, if you get my drift. I befriended one of the roommates, and as we were playing a drinking game, as we were chatting, we find out that we had a lot in common, and he declared I was his perfect woman, and we should get married. We were drunk. Anyway, he grabbed this cheap ring and stuck it on my hand. Everyone laughs. We sleep off our drunkenness. End of story. Until the next day, I go over and a few people remember, so they jokingly refer to me as his fiance. Then the next time, more people say it. Pretty soon, we cycled through all the friends as engaged, and the fact it was a joke was lost. We realized it and had fun for a whole summer as an engaged couple, coming up with false wedding plans, whatever. We became pretty good friends, but weren't a couple in any context. Then one day we staged our epic breakup. People cried. They cried. We were the perfect couple, apparently. So after this epic fight, we both high-fived and poured a drink, then told people that what actually happened. As far as legendary drunk stunts go, this was the best I can think of, especially since we were all shit-faced and every time we hung out, like all the time. What the hell? No, they didn't get married in the end, Brad. They got your ass. You know what I mean? This isn't your cookie cutter fuckboy right now Reddit. This is 3 years ago Reddit. 3 years ago Reddit goes off the rails, baby. Past a certain amount of time in Reddit, when Fat People Hate was still alive, when Jailbait was still a subreddit, when people were losing their fucking mind talking about Jello stories and all kind of bullshit like this, it didn't make no damn sense.
People used to make novelty accounts that would blow your fucking mind, baby. These novelty accounts don't make no sense. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, baby. If I could genuinely find the perfect day, the perfect storm, to fly back into Reddit's history and just go through one thread, I can pick probably 5 users out of that thread that would just say some shit that makes you go, what the fuck? And then I could go through that user's history and show you that they were just dropping gems like this with everything they fucking said. These people are the types of people that are just intriguing and interesting in every fucking way, and you want to study this motherfucker, but you don't want to get too close to him, because that's pure and unfiltered crazy, if ever you've seen it. And you can only feel safe watching it through a telescope, lest it get on you and turn you crazy too. You ain't trying to catch that infection. You're not trying to be an unshielded bit of jello, jiggling all over the place and just taking all of the magnetic germs that are all over you. You got enough germs, baby. Slide a hand down into your crotch right now and then bring it up to your face and take a whiff. Oh, take a damn shower. Take a damn. Number 8. I got stranded with no ride at a duplex owned by some guys. The story that I'm reading sounds like something I've read before, so I don't know. It's ringing a couple of bells. I think I'm just gonna go up to number 7. Weird. 2 girls screwed each other simultaneously with a banana, one on each end, at a party while a bunch of guys stood around and cheered. The next morning, some hungover guy actually ate the brown, bruised, sticky banana. That story was bananas. Ah boy, number 6. Last year, one of my friends hosted a party at their house. The toilet got clogged and everyone just kept using it and layering toilet paper up, eventually rendering the toilet useless. So now everyone who had to piss did in the bathtub. Same thing happened, and now the bathtub is clogged. By the time any of the guys who lived there heard about it and walked towards the bathroom to investigate, they see a girl sitting on the dryer taking a piss in it. She claimed multiple girls did it right before her, so she thought it was okay. My mouth is open. What are you talking about? Women. Number 4. We had a pet raccoon for 2 days who would hang out with us. We thought he was a nice furry guy, but then he betrayed us. We were pretty drunk. He left, came back with friends, looted our house. I don't want to be anti-raccoon, but it's hard for me to trust them now. If you read this, Fritz, reconsider. Come back and we can start all over. You think raccoons don't have their own Reddit? I bet raccoons have that cool Reddit, that trash panda Reddit. You know what I'm talking about? Number 3, high school. 3 of my white friends went to juvenile detention and I didn't. Okay. Even though I was in the same car busted for weed, I am black. Oh my God, this is some mystical shit. But I'm also a smooth talker. Oh boy. Some more details.
It was all their stuff and I barely even touched it, so I wasn't willing to take equal punishment for cruising with them. I was like, please officer, I haven't touched it and I still have a curfew. If you're going to hold me, I need you to let me contact my parents. They called my mom to pick me up. Friends say I pussed out. I say I played my cards right. I say I played my cards right, motherfucker. I say I played my cards right. How about that? Y'all got busted, and he's the black one. Wow. What a baller. You know what I mean? What a story. What a scoop. Number 2. I got pissed drunk and wandered off to McDonald's, which was like a mile off campus. I don't remember even leaving, but I got a call a week later from McDonald's saying that I didn't get the job because I didn't go to the interview. I guess in my drunken state, I got there and realized I had no money, so I just sat there and applied for a job? I don't remember a thing. Okay. You scored an interview at McDonald's. Well, like what else do you expect? Number 1, I saw a 140-pound French Canadian tear a sink out of a wall, run outside, and smash it to pieces against a tree. By the time we'd woken up the next morning, he'd already gone to Home Depot, bought a new sink, and installed it in the bathroom. You know he's Canadian. Somebody said French at night, Canadian by day. First they're sour, then they're sweet. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to do is read one more of these. I've got to have reached 100 by now. This is getting scary. You know what I'm talking about? This is getting scary. I've got to have reached 100 by now. This stream has been running for 3 hours. So, number 10. Was at a date to a female friend's cousin's wedding. The father of the bride died of a heart attack during the reception. Oh my God. A horrible, horrible night. Oh my God. As we approach number 9, haven't been to that many parties, but this one stood out for its weirdness. A couple was throwing a holiday party. I knew the husband, who was a computer tech worker. His wife was a fashion photographer, so basically half the people at the party were nerdy computer guys, and the other half were gorgeous women who worked as high fashion models. Let me tell you, the guys were very interested in mixing, and the women were not. Oh no. Aww. Aww. What the fuck is Chuck on about? Sorry, I'm still kisses at the last story, Lexeus. What are you guys in love? You fucking...
I'm still kisses. Ooga. Am I kawaii?
Oh my God. Number 8. I had a friend from high school invite me and 3 other friends over for what he described as a party. We thought it might be a small gamer party, which some nerdy board games or, something, as there were only 3 of us plus him and his wife. His wife then proceeds to start an hour-and-a-half presentation about Arbonne and tries to sell female beauty products to a group of males between the age of 19 and 22. I was astounded. Y'all niggas sat there for an hour and a half? Somebody said if you turn Arbonne around, it spells no bra. That's what I want. Number 7. In college, I went to a singles mixer organized by an RA. I knew it wouldn't be a drinking party, but I assumed it would be a sort of like a cocktail reception where I could meet some single women, and the RA who organized it was in a counseling program and decided the best format was to sit everyone in a group, like a group therapy setting, and she then asked everyone to go around the room and talk about who they are, then what they're looking for, and then sexual preference and so on. It was so long and weird and really personal for a group setting. At the end, you would assume, what the fuck kind of list is this? What's the worst party you've ever... Yeah, I mean, is it a party? At the end, you could assume she would use the speed dating format where we could discreetly write a few names we liked, and if there was a match between us, nope. We were asked to go around the room and in a safe and open setting, tell us everyone you felt a connection with, and we could be paired up. The RA went first. She picked the hottest guy in the room, and he had said, sorry, I'm more interested in somebody else. And that ended the entire evening on the spot. Oh, shit. That's what I'm talking about. I love it. I love it. I love it. This is like, the cringe, it's like pulsating, it's throbbing here. I can just scoop that up and it's delicious. Ya bitch. What's going on down here? Sorry I didn't scroll down for the chat. What's going on here? Let's see here. Sarah Edwards says, when he didn't realize it was a typo. Raphael Reed says, Merry Christmas, Kyle. Merry Christmas to you. I hope you're doing well. Hope everything's making sense for everybody. As we continue up, we're going to put a bow on this puppy, and we get to number 6 here. I was invited to a sleepover in high school, and the girl was a bit bratty, but she lived in this huge lakefront house, and everyone wanted to go because they wanted to sleep in her mom's mansion. This sleepover party turned into a rich kid brag fest. She wouldn't let us touch anything she owned because it was hers. She showed off her birthday present as a tanning bed. Someone mentioned that we should watch a movie. We all agreed to watch something, but she put her foot down and said we were watching a musical she wanted to watch or we could go home. Her mom ordered pizzas for us and had brought wine coolers. We were all aged like 14 to 16. The girl dictated that we were to only have 2 pieces each because she didn't want fat friends. Some of the girls were bored with the movie, so we decided to do manicures instead. The girl came unglued. How dare we interrupt movie time? She ran upstairs, tattled to her mom, who told us we had to put that stuff away and watch the movie because we were being disruptive. We played Truth or Dare afterwards, and we dared this girl to eat a 3rd slice of pizza as a joke. She got so pissed off she started crying, stomped off to her room and locked the door. She didn't come out for the rest of the night, but we heard her screaming and throwing things. The mom came downstairs and unlocked her door, trying to calm her down. The rest of us kind of sat around shocked at her behavior, and a few of us called our parents asking for them to come pick us up, myself included. I don't think that girl ever recovered from this mishap. She eventually went on to be a hard drug user in her late teens. Was there a dad in this story? Because this screams broken home. I need, a little bit of daddy guidance, homie. What's going on here? Where's your dad at? Where's your dad at? Okay. Wait, what brought Hannah out? She was just saying Merry Christmas to everybody. Asserting a little bit of that Hannah dominance, apparently. Hannah's got to let people know. Got to break everybody off a piece of that Kit Kat bar. Give Hannah a break. Give her a break before she breaks the backs of everyone that she doesn't like. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, man. What did Tom say? Tom. I don't see a Tom. Oh, Hannah says she just got away from the family. Intriguing. As we continue upwards to number 4. New Year's Eve party at my parents' house. Just as the clock struck midnight, my dad set off possibly the biggest firework I've ever seen. My God.
Here's a cut of my Christmas bonus. Had to donate from my computer.
I really appreciate you for that, man. You went above and beyond. You didn't have to do that, but I love you. Wait. What is this? What the fuck? I come any closer and the briefs come off. That's a quote from a really old list that I did. I'm so sorry. It's when his words went away and I saw that. It was like, what the hell? Anyway. Okay. Thank you so much, Banal. You know, I appreciate you getting zizzy. That's what it's all about. I appreciate you, and I hope that I can find something to give back that you'll benefit from, as much as I'm benefiting from you. Thank you. Bing bong. But as I restart number 4, New Year's Eve party at my parents' house. Just as the clock struck midnight, my dad set off possibly the biggest fireworks I've ever seen and heard. The sound of it was so bad so loud, in fact, that it killed my sister's hamster. Oh my God. It had a little heart attack. A lot of screaming and crying followed. Somebody said it sounds like your dad used the Hamsterdam 3000. Hamsterdam. The Hamsterdam, guys. The Hamsterdam. What? The Hamsterdam. Ugh. Let's go ahead and roll up to number 3 here. One of my many graduation parties I went to after high school. It was an awesome party for an hour or so. Then some 17-year-old showed up with her baby and kept insisting people keep it down so she could get the baby to sleep and have some time to herself to party. It cleared out pretty fast. Are you fucking stupid? Are you fucking stupid? What the hell? Number 2. Combination newlywed game / murder mystery party at my girlfriend's coworker's house. Nearly everyone at the party worked together in a professional environment, and things went off the rails in a really awkward and terrible way within 90 minutes. Every single question during the newlywed game was an extremely personal question about our sex lives. Where was the last place you had sex? Who is the more dominant one in bed? Where did you lose your virginity, etc.? The murder mystery was poorly explained, and the host conveniently wound up being the murderess and went into a tearful 10-minute long monologue during which she went around the room and touched everyone's face. The drunken hostess, who had gone through a nasty divorce earlier that year, openly flirted with a 17-year-old kid who came to deliver the food to the party. When I say openly flirted, I mean she asked him, "So how big is your dick?" in front of the entire party. At the end of the night, the hostess disappeared into her room for about 10 minutes. We all thought she had passed out, but she reappeared wearing her wedding dress and asking us if we wanted to watch the video of her wedding. Every single thing about the evening was fucking outrageous. I can't even imagine how awkward the next day at work must have been. Thank goodness I worked at a different place. What the hell? Number 1 on this list, ladies and gentlemen. An office party, not an officially sanctioned company event, but an informal gathering at coworker's house. No bosses were there. At some point, my wife looked at me and said, "You're drunk. You need to get home now." I don't know what made her say that. I'm not an obnoxious drunk. I don't get into arguments with people or say any outrageous things. I might have been slurring my words a bit, but I wasn't on the point of falling down or throwing up. But I trusted her judgment, so I let her drive me home. I was drunk enough that I went straight to bed and fell sound asleep. So what did my wife do? She went back to the party without me and ended up making out with one of my coworkers. This was my first wife. Well, that's just sad. A great way to end all of these. Fuck me. Ugh. Well, that was that. That was that. Guys who stick their dick in crazy regardless of warning. I'll do that one tomorrow. I love you guys. I hope you enjoyed tonight's list. I hope you have a Merry Christmas and an even better New Year. You know I can't get enough of all of you. And thank you for... I'm thankful for all of you being here. And I'm genuinely thankful for Brad, Lissa, Lexeus, and Banal Vulgarian, who all went above and beyond today, making some crazy donations happen, and I appreciate you. Thanks to Joha Mint as well for her donation. And I want to thank naturally the amazing sponsors that have just found a way to make shit happen for me on a monthly basis, as well as the patrons who are the anchor that keeps this fucking channel pumping out stuff without any fear of a lack in consistency. I love you to death. I hope you guys had a great night. And I hope that things only get better from here. I'm here if you need me. And I never hope you feel like you're not needed. Love you. And I hope you have a great night. Take it easy.